Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully, I'll be better prepared. Going to put my I'm going to put my headphones on so for better audio. Okay, wait for a couple of people to show up. Hopefully, the audio is improved. This time, also going to open up this live stream on my laptop because last time I never expected so many people. Thank you guys for all the support from last time, and so during the 2 hour live stream, there was in total of I think it was 4,200 views, and also there was also on top of that, there was over 5,200 comments. I was completely overwhelmed. So just one moment. I'm going to open up this also on my PC so I can see all the comments better. Because sorry, I'm streaming from my phone. It's because I don't have a webcam. I mentioned this last time, and so I'll try to stay on here longer. I was actually I scheduled a live stream for 7 p.m. I was supposed to work until 6. I actually got off for work early because obviously I saw the news on my phone, so I hopped on. I just told my supervisor to get off work right away, and I want to provide some reactions. I don't think I'm super shocked by this result. So I'm seeing the results coming in. Thank you guys. Oh, some people are joining, so that's good. All right, let me go through some comments. I have a lot I want to discuss. I mentioned before I want to go into basically election special. So I've actually already quit my job for on my supermarket because I still have to go back to school for 2 more classes, but I'll be taking them online. So I can finish them while I'm in China. So I'm going back to China in November, and in the meantime, I'm going to take a couple trips to the U.S. because I think it's extremely important. Whatever happens in the next few months, next 3.5 months, I think this is the most important election of our lifetime. And so I'll be taking a couple trips to the U.S. I'm trying to do some election coverage. I hope they haven't canceled the debate that's scheduled on September 10th because I know they haven't announced the location yet. So wherever they'll be. If it's too far, I'll try to fly there. But if it's close enough, if it's in New York or Boston or even Chicago, I can just drive there and I'll try to do some live streams in the US. And I'm trying to do this more often because once I return to China, I will not be able to do this, obviously, even with the VPN, the connection is going to be too slow, so I won't be able to do any more of these Q&A sections. So let me just go through some of these. Thank you guys for joining. So I'll be here for a while. I have a lot to discuss because I realize I hope you guys have watched my last video. As I'm so if you haven't, so it's performing okay. So I think it's got close to 8,000 views after 2 days. I think it's better than I expected. Obviously, the channel's views are slowing down. That was to be expected because my one video kind of went viral. The comment section went nuclear, and that video is no longer trending. But I think my views are still quite good on this channel. I'm averaging 8 to 10,000 views per video. So my last video on the China's basically China's economic miracle. I think you should check that out. As I was recording, I realized the videos are getting really long. So I think it's much better this way. If people are really interested, they can follow my live stream. And obviously, these live streams they will stay on my channel after I finish the live stream, so you can watch it later because there's so many important topics to discuss, and there's just no way for me to cover them all. So this way, I can answer more of your questions. And also to everybody that sent me a super chat stickers and super thank yous. During my last live stream, I received quite a few of them. I received a total of $66 US. Sorry, I couldn't go through all of them last time, but this time I'm slightly better prepared. Also, I'm more awake because last time I started at 10:30 and it went on until 12:30. It was mainly because I had to work until 10 p.m. So I got a little bit more energy. And so there's a lot to discuss. Let's go. I'm gonna go. The comments are already coming in, and I hope they don't deport you. Well, let me go back. Yo, what happened with Biden? I'm not surprised. I mean, the man, you can't possibly think that Biden's in charge. The demand's completely gone. I mean, he's in another whole dimension, right? His dementia is getting worse day by day. I don't even think he's aware that he's president anymore. I'm not shocked. Although at this point, I don't necessarily think that Kamala Harris will be the new, basically, a nominee for the Democratic Party. Things can still change, right? It's been a crazy last few years. I think it might be what's her name, Michelle Obama. I certainly don't think it will be Gavin Newsom because obviously he does not fit their diversity agenda of the political left. So I think it will, if it's not Kamala Harris, it will likely be Michelle Obama. And so what happened with Biden. What's up, brother? Thank you, LOLZ. And so you talk a lot about Islam, but you haven't read the Quran. Okay, that's very interesting. I have not read the entire Quran, but I have read quite a few of this. I have to make something clear. Here's the thing. So, what is this? Okay, a lot of people are just typing out inappropriate comments. Okay, and by the way, it gets automatically flagged, and sometimes I'll just ignore those for now. And one thing the common people will keep talking about is that people think I go through all the comments. I'm deleting them like crazy. Sometimes I like that happens, but I can tell you one thing for sure. Okay, most of the comments, I'm not one of those people that does it all day. Like I have a full-time job. I work 44 hours a week. So what happens is the YouTube algorithm, oftentimes it picks up certain comments. For example, if you type in certain key phrases, for example, if you type in Jeffrey Epstein or CIA or FBI or something, it gets flagged and then it gets taken down by YouTube. I just want you guys to know that. Okay, there's an 80% chance it was taken off by YouTube. I'm not the one that's doing it. Okay, it's the YouTube algorithm that's blocking out the comments, or some other users that reported the comments. So it's not me that's doing it. So one thing, okay, I mentioned before, don't trust anything from the Western media. As the live stream goes on, I will talk more about this. So about Islam, right? Here's the thing, okay? Do you know which civilization is 100%, completely anti-Islam that wants to destroy it? It's the Western civilization, okay? And they could be right and they could be wrong, but obviously, I don't think Christianity and Islam they're compatible hand to hand. And I mentioned this during the last live stream. I'll mention it more clearly, okay? Whatever you see on the mainstream media, whatever you see on MSNBC, the BBC News, the CNN, okay, ABC nighttime news, that's all lies because in the US, okay, there are 2,800 mosques, right, in the United States out of what, 340 something million, okay? In China, there are over 40,000 mosques, okay? Every single Chinese city from tier 1 to tier 5 has multiple mosques, okay? There's estimated to be 50 million Muslims in China, okay? You're free to practice the religion of Islam in China, okay? Don't believe any of the BS, basically this Western propaganda, okay? They want to paint China as the villain. They say, oh, they have all these Muslims locked up. Sure, yes, some of them are locked up, okay? Okay, the ones that's locked up in China, okay, there's a reason why, because they did something wrong. Okay, let me ask you something. In the United States, look at how many young black men are locked up in U.S. prisons. Okay, they want to keep blaming everything on China, but you are free to practice Islam in China. And sorry, I can't stay too long on one comment. I'll just go through the other ones. But I'm not a religious person, but I think it's extremely important to discuss religion. In fact, I will upcoming video. It's probably going to be 40 minutes long. I'm going to talk about the severe consequences of a secularism. Okay, the reason why the world has been turned upside down. Because look at the United States, right? Look at where the country is going. You're telling your people that men can menstruate. Okay, that's the state of Western civilization. You think they will ever let that shit roll in China or Russia? Okay, if you try to say stupid shit like that, okay, you get a bullet to the back of your head. Okay, just look up executions in China and Russia. Okay, they have the probably. I think even in terms of executions per capita, okay, China and Russia, they're right up there in terms of they carry out the most executions per year. Okay, and this is all the result of secularism. So what happened to Biden? Yeah, I don't think this is a huge shock. Okay, I like he might not even make it to, like, imagine this. Okay, Joe Biden being the president of the United States until 2029. Just think about how ridiculous that is. I don't think he's just out there anymore. I think Joe Biden's 100% done, and so his dementia has gotten so bad. So it's time to go. But I honestly think that there's a good chance, there's at least a 50% chance that Michelle Obama is going to be the nominee for the Democratic Party, which I think is going to make things quite interesting. And thank you for all the shoutouts. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, I see the comments. Welcome to live chat. Okay, let me just go scroll through the comments. Okay, are you aware of the importance of organic vegetables, meats, food? They're crucial in avoiding autism. That's quite interesting. Yes. You guys want to know something that's really, really insane? That none of these candidates are bringing this up. Okay. Do you guys know what's the autistic rate in the USA right now? Okay, 1 out of every 22 boys being born in the United States is on the autism spectrum now. 1 out of 22. Okay, there's something really, really evil and sinister going on. And I have to be careful. I don't want to say too much, but you know, if you really, really go back to the roots, if you try to trace down and see what happens, is a lot of these dots. Okay, they all go back to one certain person. His name is Bill Gates. Okay, I believe that's why his wife Melinda actually divorced Bill Gates. Look up what Bill Gates did in Africa during the Green Revolution. The Revolution, Microsoft is the ones behind it. Okay, millions and millions of African children died due to the Green Revolution in Africa, and it's quite interesting. You guys saw this cloud strike, right? The Microsoft updates. I'll talk about that much later. Yes, I think our food is being 100% poisoned. I think the Western food is probably worse than the Chinese food with their sewage oil. But yes, the rate of autism in the United States is it's spiking every single year, and it's not coming down. It's a massive concern. And okay, someone hopped up to the top. I see a super chat. So I have if you're wondering why I'm looking to the side, I'm looking at my PC screen. Now I can see a lot better. Thank you. So thank you for a Hong Win for a $5 US. Can't watch now, but I wanted to support. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be able to answer a lot more questions as I go on. This time I'm planning on staying longer because I'm more awake. I have more energy to answer questions. So thank you for your super chat. Let me Okay, let me go down to the comments, see what the question. So that was the organic food. Pure blood lives matter. Pure blood lives matter. Oh, that's quite interesting. I assume so you're against interracial dating and marriage. I have a interesting take on that topic as well. So let me just go down to. There's a lot of crazy comments. Okay, can you rank all races based on penis size? Quick. I think I've already covered that. So that's enough of that. Maybe I'll bring up in later videos. Hope they don't deport you. Uh, L, I'm not sure. Hope they don't deport you. I'm not sure what you mean. I was born in China, so like getting sent back to China. Is that what you mean? Or so? You're American as far as I'm concerned. Well, I've actually never ever lived in the United States. I've been to the U.S. many times. Actually, I've seen more of the U.S. That's why I'm covering so much topic on the U.S. I've seen a lot of the U.S. Okay, in Canada, I haven't seen very much. The furthest east I've been is Quebec City, and the furthest basically, well, like I haven't gone past west past of Ottawa, and I've been down south between the Windsor and Detroit border. So I haven't seen the massive majority of Canada, but I've sure seen a lot of shit that's going on in the United States. Okay, there's a super. Oh, there's another David. 13.99 Canadian. Thank you so much for your super thank you sticker. Number one fan. $14 Canadian. Thank you so much for your support. So since it's a Canadian super sticker, so you're watching from somewhere in Canada as well. So thank you so much, David, for $14 and number one fan. I'm gonna try to read through some of the comments. Then I do have a lot of things I want to cover because I think on the live stream I can cover some things which are typically more sensitive because I thought about covering topics like the U.S. Their military industrial complex, but I thought if I do that, I think the YouTuber algorithm is really not going to like that video. There's a chance that it might get taken down because that has happened before. I've had videos taken down by YouTube before. Unfortunately, yeah, even though it's even though people don't what they talk about, they say there's freedom of speech, but there's definitely no freedom of speech anywhere in this world. So you have to be careful of the things you talk about. But I think on the live stream, I can cover little topics that's a little more in the gray area because I think unless you're really interested in my contents, you wouldn't be clicking on my live stream. Because if there's a hater out there that clicks on one of my videos, and if they start reporting my videos, there's a chance I could get a strike on my channel. I'll talk more about the military industrial complex. Let's get through some of more. I'm gonna get through more of these chats. Okay, Journey, Trials, and Joy. Thank you so much for $5. I like your honesty and openness as a Canadian who grew up in Vancouver. Oh yeah, I just covered that in the last video. That was 34 minutes. Okay, so thank you so much for Journey, Trials, and Joy. So grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and is a citizen living in the U.S. Also a U.S. citizen. Thank you so much, Journey, Trials, and Joy for your $5 US. And I stress and get the hell out of Vancouver, man. It is so unbelievably expensive. I don't know how anybody can afford to live there. The Chinese immigrants, they have completely destroyed the city. So let me Pinky. Hey, handsome. Thank you. I hope Pinky is a woman. I hope it's not a dude or a transgender or something. But thank you so much, Pinky. Butler was Butler who is Butler? Butler was set up like Dallas 1963. Do you mean Trump or who is Butler? I'm sorry. Why don't you start bodybuilding? Been extremely busy. Like I said, I have a job. I work 44 hours a week on top of making videos, so it's been extremely insane. But I'm not really planning on getting ripped. I think I need to more time to get back in running, and I hope to train for another marathon coming up. Right now, I'm not doing that. This life has been crazy busy, but I just gotta go back to China. I want to finish filming my Chinese series, and also I want to finish my degree. Obviously, I have 2 more classes to take before I finally graduate. So that's the main goal for now. And let's see. Yo, Chinese bro, we have to play some No Man's Sky and talk. What? Yo, Chinese bro, we have to play some No Man's Sky and talk about life one day. I'm not sure. Is that a video game? No, I don't play video games anymore. I've been way too busy. So let me just get through one of the comments. Perhaps there will be a compromised candidate, Mark Kelly. Haven't heard of Mark Kelly, but I think if Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris, whatever her name is, if she doesn't make it, I think there's could be a good chance that it could be a Michelle Obama. But I definitely believe that at this point, like Trump is going to win, and I think there's a 99% chance that Trump is going to win in November. Why don't you lift, okay? I'm from Kelowna, BC. I love your videos, that dude. Thank you so much. Lucas 1706. Uh, Shinobu Sensu, you my guy. Okay, is that from a Japanese anime? I'm not sure. I haven't been following any of the animes. Okay, well, there's a lot of comments. Okay, let me just quickly go through them before I talk about other topics. So they're doing. What's up with these troll comments? Yeah, some of these comments are questionable. Look at my brother, it's bodybuilding. Why not use religion as a religious guide instead of actually converting to them, similar to Confucianism? That's a good question. I will cover that in my. I said my video on secularism. It'll probably be 30 to 40 minutes. I'll talk more about that in upcoming video. So, I'll win next time. Be there, facts. Okay, a lot of these comments are trolls. Let me read actually some legitimate questions. Uh, so North American culture war isn't really spreading to Europe. I haven't noticed anyways. If you're talking about woke culture, like basically man can get abortions and man can menstruate, is that what you're talking about? I think it's definitely very evident. It's definitely happening in countries like in the UK, in France, in Spain, Italy. I'm pretty sure it's not just happening in America and Canada. Okay, can you explain the Muslim family that ruled large part of China during the period of Chinese Republic? It was a chaotic period. It's very complex. Which Muslim family are you talking about? Are you talking about when China was ruled by the Mongols? I'm pretty sure the Khan families, like Kublai Khan. I don't think they were. Well, they refer China referred to them as the Xiongnu or the nomadic tribes. I don't think unless you're talking about the Uyghurs. Uh, so maybe in a future video, but I'm not too clear on that question. So I don't know. It's very high. What is this? Okay, a lot of these comments are 100% truth. Okay, Ma clan. Oh, you're talking about there's the Sima clan. That's the family. There's one, the Sima Qian. He tried to mix a mercenary and arsenic. Like he tried to mix mercury and arsenic. He tried to create the elixir of immortality. He ended up killing himself from arsenic and mercury poisoning. But I'll more for later. I gotta answer some of these questions. No, he's openly pro Chinese Communist Party. Okay, I'm not trying to be pro Chinese Communist Party, but I have to tell you something. The U.S. Military and their government has completely lost the plot. Okay, before I'll try to go through some of these comments, and then I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I think it's okay to say this on the live stream. It's probably safer versus actually posting a video on this. So better than sewage. Okay, there are a lot of trolls. Let me I'm mixed race. I'm against vaccinations. That's what I mean. Okay. He means no vax going to marathons. Yeah, I was forced to be vaccinated. I got Pfizer and Moderna, and it was what can I say? I don't know what to say, man. Justin Trudeau's ass has got to go. He's a 100% communist traitor. He needs to be deported back to Havana, Cuba. Okay, along with Chrystia Freeland. Okay, Chrystia Freeland was actually so she's our Kamala Harris of Canada. She needs to be deported back to the White House. She used to actually work in Washington D.C. She used to be a journalist for the Washington Post. She's a little cranky midget fascist. Okay, 100% evil bitch. She has to go. she has to get deported along with Justin Trudeau. So why not go to the gym? Okay, let me see. Another historic 秦始皇帝, another history. How does mainland China and the CCP view 秦始皇帝? 秦始皇帝, it's like a god in China. Basically, he's viewed as this formidable being. He was the first emperor to unite China back in 221 BC. He was responsible for the basically at the time there was 600 kingdoms. He single-handedly annexed all of them. So he's a legendary figure in China. Yes, he did terrible things. Yes, he did kill scholars. Yes, he did burn all the books in China. Yes, many knowledges were lost, but he also accomplished many great things. And he was responsible for the construction of Great Wall, and he actually became emperor at just the tender age of 13. And his mom actually basically got knocked up by a fake eunuch in the imperial harem, and the guy was a total fake, so he ended up being executed. There's a lot more that happened to Qin Shi Huang. In fact, when I go back to China, I will go back to obviously the terracotta, right? One of the most famous lens sites in the world. So I'm going back to visit the city of Ximen. I'm going to visit the terracotta, and I think my first full-length documentary on China will be one about Qin Shi Huang, because his story is absolutely legendary. Even though people say China's history is 5,000 years, but it's really 2,200 years. He was the first one to do it, and so I'll talk more about Qin Shi Huang later. But yeah, he's revered as a god in China. Um, don't follow. Do you follow Let's Real Talk about China? No, I don't. I'm generally curious as a runner too. I haven't ran as many marathons. Just so the European wages are a lot lower than America. Okay, sweet. Glad to see the Chinese historian. Thank you. You should grow a beard. No, that's not on the list. Consider barbarian in China. You should get a sales job. No. Okay, these comments are so you look very Chinese. Shave your puberty man. Okay, there's a lot of trolls. Let me just, if there's not any legitimate questions, I'm gonna talk about some important topics. Are you aware of the channel China Observer? Inside, they're just a propaganda channel. Okay, I do not watch. I think I've seen some of their videos. Okay, this is quite interesting. Let me start this. Many of you guys may have seen that channel, China Uncensored, hosted by Chris Chappelle. He used to work in Hong Kong, I think. He even worked in mainland China. Now he's based in New York, right? I'm pretty sure he's banned from visiting China again. Okay, that is a propaganda channel. Okay, yes, some of the stuff he says. Okay, if you don't know about that channel, you can look up China Uncensored. Okay, this guy, he's been on YouTube for since the early days. He's got to be on YouTube for like 15, 16 years now. So, the organization he works for is called Fa Lun Gong. Okay, there's no translation. Okay, do you guys know why they don't translate it? Because it's a satanic suicidal cult. Okay, so that's the organization Chris Chappelle works for. So I know so much about this because Falun Gong actually started right in my hometown in the early 1990s while I was growing up in Jilin, China. That's where Falun Gong started. It's a satanic cult. Okay, don't believe anything on that channel because basically I'll tell you guys what that means. Okay, Falun Gong. The Fa means how do I say it? Like magic, okay? Like your kung fu, your some kind of jutsu, like Naruto weird shit. Okay, the lun is a wheel, okay? And the gong, that's like your kung fu, your chi, your nen, your chakra, whatever you want to call it. So basically, in their book they publish, okay, they talk about the Dharma wheel. And as you practice Falun Gong, it has nothing to do with exercise. Basically, it talks about how you can master the Dharma wheel. And once you get to a certain level, you're able to fly. Actually, when I was growing up in my suburb, I lived in building number one in my suburb. Building number one and number two, they were attached to each other. And the building number three, okay, there was an old lady that lived in building number three, which was right across the street. When I was a little kid, this must be maybe 97 or 98, she actually jumped off from the fifth floor. She opened up her arms in the balcony because she said she mastered the Falun Gong and the Dharma wheel. She said, I'm finally free. I can pursue the Dharma wheel. I can finally fly. And she jumped to her death, okay? Falun Gong is a satanic cult. Do not believe any kind of shit that they're bringing up. Yeah, because I know this. You can look up the history of Falun Gong. It started right in my hometown in the early 1990s as I was growing up, okay? So many people lost their lives to Falun Gong because it tells you to basically to open up to the window to your balcony, to open up your arms, to say that you actually achieved the Dharma wheel, you can fly. And so many people committed suicide this way. So listen, do not believe anything from China Uncensored. Okay, you can continue to follow him and watch his videos. Okay, but I'm just telling you, it's all propaganda. Let's go down there. women will keep voting for Trudeau just because he's hot. Really? Is Justin Trudeau like type for you guys? I don't know. Like, well, I can't say I'm not a woman, but if I was a woman, I don't think Justin Trudeau would really be my type. Like, the first thing, like, the first impression that Justin Trudeau gives off when you see Justin Trudeau is that you think that, oh my god, this guy's gay. Because that's the first thing I can think of when I see him. I'm pretty sure he's gay. Like, he definitely, and he's the one that's getting drilled. Okay, is that what you want to call it? He's the woman in the relationship. Okay, that's what I think. So, do you support Pierre Polyev? I mean, honestly, I don't think there's a better candidate. He's the only one that has a legitimate chance to win. So the next election in Canada in 2025, I'll be voting for the Conservative Party. You know, even though I don't think he really has a solution to the housing crisis and the immigration crisis in Canada, but Justin Trudeau must go. So I'll be voting Conservative. I got another super chat. Thank you. I'm gonna read this. Just showing you my support. Thoughts on Serpinza YouTube? $5 Canadian. This is DB. Thank you so much. I assume you named your channel DB. Well, it could be your initial. It could be a DB Cooper. So thank you for the support. I haven't. I don't watch a lot of channels that talk about China, so I haven't heard of a Serpinza. Maybe I'll look up some of their stuff. But I would say most likely, from what I've seen in the past, some of the stuff they say about China is true, but some of it's completely propaganda. It's 50-50, hit or miss. But I would say that guy, China Uncensored, like that guy's mad sketchy, man. Do not trust the Falun Gong organization because it is all about pursuing the Dharma wheel and the jumping to your own death. Okay, no, I'm serious. You can look up. It started right in my hometown. Okay, they're a cult. So thank you so much, DB. I haven't seen that channel, but I would say just 50-50 probably, most likely. Let me go down these lists. Okay, there's someone from a channel member. Damn, she jumped off the balcony. Yeah, that happened in building number 3, right across the where I lived. I lived in building number 1, right across the street. Everybody saw it because I lived in a subdivision of 30,000 people. So any slide of any kind of news, like right away, the next thing everybody knows it. Suicide cults, triads, Mexican cartels. Was too much. You were drafted to fight in the war. Would you fight for your country or bitch out and flee? Uh, well, I don't have my Chinese citizenship, so I couldn't be drafted to the Chinese military. And I'm pretty sure I'm almost past the age limit. I think the age limit I know for in Taiwan is 32. Like I'm turning 32 next month. So I think in China it's around the same range. So I'm even getting too old to be even drafted in the military. I think in China they only draft like 18 to 32-year-olds. But if I were to give a choice, would I fight for China or would I fight for Canada? I would probably join China, to be honest. I think the West has lost their mind. Okay, you might think that's crazy. I'll tell you guys a few more stories as I go on in this live stream. I'm just gonna read a few more of these comments. Young Lifestyle. I live in Toronto. This is a channel member. Thank you for supporting my channel, Young Lifestyle. So, and the other day there was a Falun Gong festival. Thousands and thousands of people cult. Yeah, those people are insane, man. And most of the people that follow them is a bunch of clueless old women. I'm telling you, it's true. The one that jumped off from the third building balcony, she was also an old woman because they just think, oh, okay, there's some kind of organization going on. Maybe this is a dance troupe. They think they're practicing like kung fu or tai chi. They think it's cool. Most of the recruits are a bunch of old women, okay, who basically they have no like they. I don't know. I can't understand a woman's brain. I don't know how they process this kind of shit. They just basically, yeah, like what their book of truth tells you to master the Dharma wheel, and you'll be able to fly after you master your chi. So yeah, they're 100% insane. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Let's see. He looks like a PDF file too. I look like a PDF file. Okay, well, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, there are people who punch each other in the balls to build up strength. It is a martial art. Getting punched in the balls. I haven't heard of that one. That's getting punched in the balls. I have to look into that. I don't think that happens in China. I don't think they actually practice kung fu like that. So, uh, Serpenza and the Lao Wai. As I well, I assume that these channels they talk about topics in China. I haven't watched it. I would say probably the general rule is that 50% is probably true, and 50% is it's probably propaganda. Okay, what are the chances of China having a civil war? As long as the Chinese party is still in power, I don't think it's possible. So I actually support China's social credit system because you need to keep people under control. Because when you have such a massive country with so many different people from different ethnicities and different religions. Unless you have a party that's strong enough to hold them in place, everything is going to break off into pieces, and there's going to be massive issues. Like I said, China does have 50 million Muslims, okay, and then you need a strong, powerful system to keep these people in control. Because unless you're willing to do that, it's there's going to be chaos in the country. Yes, there could be a civil war. So let me see. Sorry about it. My hand look weird on the screen because I'm scrolling through my laptop. I think it's gonna be okay. Don't be too bothered. Let me see. Read some more of these comments. Thoughts on Paul Joseph Watson? I'm not sure who that is. It's interesting. A lot of people, you guys think I would know like certain people, but I don't know a lot of these people. I've never heard of like Serpinza or Lao Hai or Lao Wai. What is it called? I haven't heard of these people or these channels. Do you? I wouldn't even fight for Canada. At this point, it's already lost. Yeah, Canada's fucked, man. It's worse than the United States, to be honest. I don't think there's any hope. Good to see you. Thank you. So could be better. Misunderstanding comments about late taboo subjects. CCP doesn't want you to know. I don't know. How the hell do you not hear about Serpenza, bro? You're fed. Well, the reason why I don't watch some of these channels on China, I'll tell you, it's because like China Uncensored. Okay, I watched some of that guy's videos and I realized this guy is 100% full of shit. So some of these, especially the Western people, they're reporting on like say these sensitive topics in China. I realized that these people they're all being they're probably being paid by the U.S. government to promote propaganda. That's why I don't follow them. Like you really can't like how can you trust the Falun Gong organization when I literally saw like a bunch of my neighbors commit suicide because of them. So that's the reason why I don't follow some of these channels because it's just like the mainstream media, just like NBC or MSNBC or ABC News is full of BS lies. So let me go down the list. That's why they're not really 6 feet in shape. European, rather be black than Indian and Pakistani American. Been Chad my whole life. Being Chinese. Okay. Well, you go find a Chinese woman when you visit. They're okay. Listen. There are millions. In fact, there's actually probably over 100 million leftover women in China. Okay. There are leftover women in China for a reason. Okay. Because if they were actually a wife material, okay, there are tons of Chinese millionaires living in China. Some Chinese millionaire would have wifed them up a long time ago when they were 20 or 22 or 24. The reason why they're in their 30s and their 40s are still single, there's a reason for it. Okay, I will cover it in a future video. How do I title it? I will cover it. Maybe I'll title it the real reason why there's 100 million leftover women in China. And the key point is that it's basically there's a difference between moody versus non-moody. Okay, the 100 million leftover women in China is because they're all on the moody side. I will explain that. Okay, there's a reason why China's divorce rate is over 50%. Okay, if all the men, all the women were perfectly fine, okay, there wouldn't be so many divorces. Okay, the women who are single and left over in China, there's a reason why they're single and left over because China has anywhere between 35 to 40 million excess men. So it's their own decisions that led to their own destruction. And people need to stop blaming this on men. Okay, I see all these women keep saying that. Oh, my ex-boyfriend was an asshole. He was an abuser. He was an alcoholic. He beats me. But I keep telling them, okay, right now, basically in the dating market, women, you have the rights to. You have 100% of the rights to choose anybody that you date. So, if you chose a boyfriend that was a drunken alcoholic, that was abusive, that was violent, then I think that's your problem because that's the guy you chose. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. Okay, there are tons of nice guys out there that does not smoke, that does not gamble, that does not drink, that's in shape, that makes good money. But you put those guys in the friend zone, and you chose the violent guy, and then you complain about getting beat up by the violent guy. So you have to really, really think about the consequences of your actions and the choices you're making. Okay, there's a reason why all the marriages in China used to be arranged. It used to be that the father of the daughter has to choose his future son-in-law, and I think China should have never gotten rid of that because marriages and relationships were much better way back in the day when the father chose the future son-in-law of the daughter. So I think let me see. I'm a curry cell. Okay, it's quite interesting. Let me just go down this. Are you saving this? Yes, this live will be saved. Okay, I don't think I'll be saying anything too dangerous. If I say something too dangerous, I'm gonna have to delete this live. But I'm gonna talk about the U.S. military industrial complex. Okay, let me answer a few more questions. Then I'm gonna skip. And I want to talk about something since I did title this Biden's resignation. I'm going to talk about Trump. And yes, I'm going to the U.S. I'm taking at least 2 trips to the U.S. Probably 1 week in September. Hopefully, I can catch the presidential debate, whether it's Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama. And September 10th, I'll be there live. And also, I'll probably take another trip in October. Okay, I'll probably attend a couple of Trump rallies and try to talk to some people. So, thoughts on the Kaiserschlacht? Are you talking about like the Kristallnacht, like when the all Germans basically started to expel Jews out of Germany? Like I don't know what that is. Are you saying this live? I'm sick of living in Scarborough. I hate this place. Well, all of Canada is going to shit, man. It's not just the Scarborough. Thoughts on Shengli in China? Yes, I mentioned I will cover this in future videos. Uh, Oh, there's a Ging Rama 279 Canadian. Oh, yes, Ging Rama, I recognize. I think you support me on Patreon. You're a monthly member. Thank you so much for the 279 Canadian super. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let me read this guy. I like a guy who's smart and respectful. Okay, thank you. Smart and respectful. Thank you so much. I hope you're referring to me, but thank you. So, true, you made a wild right statement. Why would they choose? Yeah, it's who they choose. Oh yeah, that's a statement about the Shengnu in China. Okay, there's another super chat. I'll focus on the super chats because last time I missed quite a few. So, what do you think about actual Canada immigration state? Would it be worthy to live there, Noel? So this is 10 euro or pounds. I think that's euro. Thank you so much, Noel, for the super thank you or super chat. So do not move to Canada. Canada is 100% fucked. Okay. I mentioned so right now Canada's population increased by 1.3 million. Okay. So Canada actually has the highest immigration rate per capita in the world. It's higher than the U.S. It's higher than the U.K. Even higher than Sweden or Germany. Okay, it's 100% out of control. The housing crisis is 100% out of control. The economy is destroyed, and also it's not just people can't afford to buy home right now. You know, if you're fresh out of college or university, you can't even get a decent job because there's so many young immigrants taking in, and they're stealing the jobs from these native Canadian college and university graduates. This is a major problem. The reason why people cannot find good paying jobs, the reason why people cannot afford to buy homes, and the reason why rent is so expensive is because there are way too many immigrants coming in. I'm sorry, that's just the reality. Okay, that Canada. I think since Justin Trudeau took power, he's letting something like 6 million people. Like Canada's population has grew from 35 million to 41 million. Okay, it's not sustainable. Like no country can handle all this. And a lot of these immigrants, they're like, for example, they're rich immigrants from mainland China. They just sell their home in Beijing for $1 million, and they buy a let's say a house in Canada for cash for 600,000. They're left over with a $400,000 cash. They're living life on the easy mode. So like the rich people will continue to stay rich. They'll buy up all the homes that's available, and the young people are screwed, right? Because it also suppresses the wages, right? We have all these people coming from third world countries, and so that when you graduate, for example, let's say an average job at the government, let's say before I used to pay $60,000 a year as a starting wage, but someone can from India can say that, you know what, I'll come in, I'll work for 50,000. Then someone from Pakistan can say that, you know what, I'll come in, I'll work for 40,000. Then someone from, let's say, Congo or Nigeria, they'll say, okay, pay me under the table, I'll work for $30,000 a year. And this is why the left, the political left, wants so many immigrants, because it completely destroys the wages of young people. It suppresses the wages so that they can pay you a shit wage, so you cannot afford to live. It's a huge problem. The border, like as an immigrant that arrived in Canada almost 20 years ago, it needs to be closed. There are way too many immigrants, and the country cannot handle it. So thank you so much, Noel. But it's not worth coming to Canada. So like okay, there's a lot of new comments. Let me go down. World One German offensive. Uh, I don't think I will discuss World War One too much. I do want to talk about the recent election that's coming up. So, thank you. But I do know a lot of interesting topics on World War One. Maybe in the future videos I will discuss them. Okay. Why so many Chinese CPP members money launder Mexican cartel? Yes, that is true. Well, what can I say? The U.S. allows it. So the U.S. the Democratic Party, like you can't see what like they're trying to do, right? They're letting as many people as possible. Okay, they're going to say that we're going to let all these illegals come in. Okay, from Mexico, from El Salvador, from Nicaragua, okay, from Chile, from Brazil, from Argentina, whatever they're coming from, okay, from the Netherlands, from the Middle East, okay, they're going to say that, okay, at the border, we're going to let you in, and you have to vote for the Democratic Party, okay. So that's literally their plan, okay, and they're going to turn U.S. into a complete shithole. They're going to make everything a nightmare, so that the people who are born and raised in America, they don't want to have children because it's too dangerous, and they don't want to have children because there's no housing available, because there's record population growth, and there's no good jobs available because illegal immigrants they suppress the wages. So the native born Americans, they will be systematically wiped out. Okay, that's their goal, to subjugate and systematically wipe out people who are born and raised in America, to replace them with immigrants and illegal aliens, because they will keep voting for the Democratic Party. So, and in the end, 50 years from now, everybody will be immigrant and they will all vote for the political left. That's their agenda. It's that simple. They want everybody to, they want to basically, this is how they're going to eliminate their political opposition. That's why they're supporting. Okay, it's the U.S. government, it's the Democratic Party. They're supporting the Mexican drug cartels. Okay, it's not because of China. So, black pill victims of society, lonely man. Yes, I've made a lot of videos on this. I'll definitely cover more in future videos. It's going to have severe consequences. AI gonna kill us? Most likely. AI is gonna do way more harm than good. Thank you. I can see I'm up to 117 people now. Okay, so that's good. Let me just read through some of the comments. I do want to talk about some election stuff, but there's a lot of questions. I love China Observer. People around the world are God's patience is endless. Yes, I think the only thing that can save the Western civilization is that you need the Lord. Okay, without it, I think you're heading to a doomsday destruction. Is Ukraine evil? Ukraine, I would say, is a worse country than Russia. I'm sorry. That's I'm just being brutally honest. As a Canadian, I agree. Yes, Canada is screwed. Most leftover woman and this and that. I'll talk more about leftover woman in future videos. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Let's see. Are you consider switching? Okay, a lot of these comments are just 100%, they're being retarded trolls. I'm sorry, but I'll just keep skipping over them. But if I see more of these comments, I'm gonna go through them and maybe I have to block a couple people because I don't know what the hell you guys are trying to achieve. They just I'll skip them. Same thing in the UK. Yes, way too many immigrants. How many languages do I speak? Uh, my French is not great. I have some proficiency. I can usually understand it, but speaking is a little bit difficult. I can like read it, no problem. So maybe like two and a half. In the future, maybe. But if I'm leaving Canada, do I really need Quebec French? I don't know. I'm hoping to improve my French, like in the future, in the next few years. But life has been extremely busy. I hope to pick up Spanish in the future as well. Maybe I'll spend a few months living in Mexico or something. Maybe I'll live in Mexico for a year, try to improve my Spanish. That's on my list. I'll see how the future goes. Uh, under apartments, okay, replacement facts. Okay. Bro is ignoring my question. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through it, but there's so many questions. Oh, there's another super thank you. I'll give this. So, Ants. Okay, I cannot pronounce this. Anschluss from Argatha. Well, thank you so much for the $5 super thank you. So let me try to read this. So the Trump regime, the Chinese and the Ruskies are the upcoming A team for the world. I don't know if Trump will team up with China, but I think Biden did the right thing by resigning because he's 100% destroyed this country. Since you sent me a super thank you, I want to tell you guys something. You can look up Biden's official state visit to China back in December of 2013 when he was vice president. So he visited China. This was back in 2013, and he visited China with his son Hunter Biden. You guys want to know something crazy? He was compromised a long time ago by the Chinese Communist Party. So he went to have these lavish parties, these drinks with obviously then the Chinese president Xi Jinping. President Xi was already the Chinese Communist Party leader back then. So they traveled from Beijing to Chengdu. It's quite interesting. Chengdu is actually my mom's hometown. So they partied like it's 1999. During this time period, multiple Chinese Communist Party member officials, they had a discussion with Hunter Biden. So they were invited onto Air Force Two, and they basically negotiated the deal with Hunter Biden. This is a $2 billion US dollars equity fund for Hunter Biden's law firm. Okay, $2 billion. I'm serious. And there's a bunch of statement that's written. It's quite interesting. I believe 20% of the money directly went to Hunter Biden. 20% of the money went to Joe Biden's brother Jim Biden. 20% of the money went to Rob Walker, obviously a Royal Democrat, and works for the World Economic Forum. 20% of the money went to James Gilliar, and on the last line of this $2 billion equity fund, it wrote this 10 held by H for the big guy. Okay, no, I'm serious. You can find this, the $2 billion equity fund. What does the 10 held by H for the big guy means? Okay, it means that 10% of the $2 billion equity fund to be held in Hunter Biden's bank account on behalf of Vice President Joe Biden. Okay, Joe Biden was compromised by the Chinese Communist Party a long time ago. Everybody in China knows this. Okay, they're not even trying to hide it. Okay, this is all public information in China. The fact that Joe Biden even became president really just it blows my mind. Obviously, honestly, I can't believe the fact that something that like that happened. Okay, the fact that so many Americans are so oblivious to it. The fact that 81 million Americans still voted for him, and not just that. Okay, so the transactions, the $2 billion equity fund that was done with Hunter Biden back in December of 2013. Okay, do you guys know who was responsible for this financial transaction? Okay, three people. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines, and also the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Okay, I know all of this. I know all the details. By the way, I'm not reading any notes. This is just off the top of my head. These three people. Okay, so the transaction was done through a law firm. It was called the West Executive in Washington D.C. In October of 2020, right before the election, these three people they wiped all of the records of that transactions clean. Okay, even though they wiped the record off, but that transaction 100%. Okay, Joe Biden was compromised through Hunter Biden. Okay, that happened in 2013, and it was Anthony Blinken, Avril Haines, and Anna Helen. They were the ones who wiped out the record clean. So I'm just saying that out there. Okay, if you're still Joe Biden is done, but the people who are supporting Joe Biden up until today, it's unbelievable. Like you guys have no idea like to what's happening like in our society. So let me go down to read some of the comments. So thank you, Angelus from Argatha 499. Uh, to be honest, maybe the world will be better. I hope Trump can solve. I think he will. The first day he becomes president, I would say on January 20th, and I think it's almost guaranteed he's going to win. He'll be able to solve Russia and Ukraine since day one, and I believe that he will pull out the U.S. troops out of hopefully the Philippines and Okinawa, so that whatever happens between China and Taiwan, the U.S. just simply don't interfere, just make things simple, and I'm pretty sure he will be able to solve the problem in the Middle East as well. So move to Finland. I don't think I'll be moving to Finland. And let me read some of these more comments. Herbamore than Japan. What do you think of Armenia and the Greek genocide? You talking about the Nagorno Karabakh? Are you talking about that conflict between Azerbaijan and Turkey? Or I'll skip that. Okay, some of the stuff that's too complicated, I have to skip it. Let me try to answer some more questions. The Chinese tribe of man video about you. Called you traumatized and insecure. Yes, I do realize, especially my one video, obviously, the one got 9,000 comments about interracial dating. There's probably at least 20 channels that made a reaction to it. Some people have been sending them to me, but I'm not too bothered. Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. You can be the juiciest and the ripest watermelon in this world, okay? Am I gonna get canceled for just using watermelon? Okay. So, but I mean, personally, I like watermelons. You can be the juiciest and the ripest watermelon in the world. However, there's still going to be millions of people around the world that's going to hate watermelons. Okay, what are you gonna do? Okay, haters are gonna hate. So, like, if you're at that point, if you're constantly so triggered and so offended all the time by these reaction videos other people are making because they have a different opinion than you, okay, they can call me whatever they want. I couldn't care less. Okay, I understand the world's not perfect, the world's not fair, but if they're gonna hate, okay, if I'm having a political debate with somebody and they're saying that it's a fact that men can menstruate, now I'll just have to simply walk away from that because those people are beyond help. Like, what are you supposed to do, right? So I'm not too concerned. CJ, wake up. Let me. Okay, a lot of comments have happened since I started talking about Hunter Biden. Let's see. Legion of Man, he is called. No. Yes, I think people did send me that video, but I watched the reaction. The guy was laughing. I'm not too concerned. So Azerbaijan so evil. They're doing to Armenia. Yes, there's a movement to destroy Christians worldwide. Okay, it's also happening in Ukraine. It's also happening in Canada. Look at what the indigenous Canadians are doing. They're burning up all the churches. Okay, there's It's not just Christians. I believe there's a movement to destroy Islam as well. It goes both ways. Okay, and the consequences of secularism will be severe to this world. Uh, see, let's see. We need more of a heads up. I almost missed this live stream. Yeah, sorry. This was like an emergency. I was hoping to do it today, but like originally I was scheduled to work until 6. But obviously I saw on my phone the news flash: Joe Biden resigning. So this is an emergency live stream. In the future, I'll try to do more, but I'll schedule them more. But it's difficult because I'm guaranteed to work every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and because these are probably the best time to do a live stream. So let me see. Same Luca. Let me see. Watermelon. I like watermelon. Thank you. But yeah, I'm not too bothered by the haters. And also to the people I need to bring back to this, people saying that, oh, I'm going through to like basically block out and remove all the comments. Most of it that's done by the YouTube algorithm. It does that automatically. Okay, like it's probably not me that's leaving the comments. I just want to make something clear. Okay, the YouTube does this quite often. Even sometimes I comment on my own videos. Some of my own replies gets automatically removed. That's the YouTube algorithm that's doing it. I'm not the one that's raging over the haters and removing every comment. Okay, it's the YouTube algorithm. So I mean, it's another super chat. Okay, Dylan Sharding. I hope I pronounced that right. Or is it Sharding? Yeah, I think it's Sharding. So $10. Thank you so much for your super chat. So you're very smart. Tell us more about what? Hermes Trismegistus? Hermes Trismegistus? Uh I don't I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Tell about Chinese alchemy, speak Jesus, spiritual views. Okay. I don't know who is that Hermes guy, but I will talk more about spiritual videos. Like I said, coming up. That video will be 30 to 40 minutes on the severe consequences of secularism. I think it will be released the first weekend of August. So I will talk more about religion. Thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe I'll look up this Hermes guy and Chinese alchemy. Yes, I will discuss that in future videos, but probably much later after I return from China. I will talk about Chinese alchemy. Thank you so much, Dylan. Let me go down this. Let me just drink some. I said. Makes sense. You're somewhat insecure. Okay, I'm not too bothered. If you think I'm insecure, then I'm insecure. I'm sorry, my Christian friends. Comment and question. Glad to be part of a new channel. Glad I fed my cat. What can cats eat watermelons? I don't know. I don't have any pets, so you speak really good English. Okay, thank you. AI is owned by the tribe, no one else. Ultra nationalist wizard teacher, middle school. Hermes Trismegistus. Okay. Do you believe in feral people? Okay. Actually, channel called Legion complaining poison. Uh, what do you think of China's involvement in African countries? Well, it's better than the U.S. being involved. You see what they did to Patrice Lumumba, right? You see what they did to what's his name? Robert Mugabe, right? All the things you guys saw what the U.S. did to Muammar Gaddafi, right? So you see what the U.S. is doing in the Middle East, right? Okay, one more thing. So, since what do you think about Chinese involvement in Africa? Okay, people think the Chinese Communist Party is evil. Okay, I don't care what you say. First of all, the US, right? 7 regime changes in the Middle East, okay? China did not do any of that. That was all 100% done by the US. You know who was really, really evil? I think one of the most evil persons throughout history. It's Hillary Clinton. The fact that she almost became president in 2016. Hillary Clinton, can I say this on the live stream? I gotta be careful. But I will just say this, okay? The Syrians, the civil war in Syria, okay? It's 2 people responsible. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Okay, you can throw in probably Anthony Blinken in there as well. Okay, Barack Obama absolutely nuked the shit out of Syria. Okay, he unleashed hell on there. Okay, I don't care. Like you can say that sure, Syria had problems. Yes, Bashar al-Assad he killed a lot of Muslims, but it's not the U.S.'s. The U.S. has no business to be in Syria, to be involved. Okay, the 7-year civil war, like how many millions of people died. Okay, that was all because of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. You guys don't want to know something crazy? So, speaking of Hillary Clinton, remember Monica Lewinsky, right? People keep talking about Trump and Stormy Daniels. Literally, Bill Clinton, he got hawk twat by a freaking Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office, okay, with Monica Lewinsky. Although I can't really blame Bill Clinton. I mean, Hillary Clinton is like mad ugly, man. She's probably one of the most ugliest women on earth, right? And nothing happened, right? Okay, literally, he got hot twat by Monica Lewinsky. But even long before that, in 1993, there was a journalist. You can look up Vince Foster. You can look up Vince Foster. Okay, his death is ruled as suicide. He had overwhelming evidence to overthrow the Clintons, Hillary and both Bill. He said that basically Bill Clinton is a pedophile. I have all the evidence. I have all the corruptions and everything. I have everything to basically to get rid of Bill and Hillary. And he was supposed to testify right before he testified against the Clintons. Okay, they found him dead. And the conclusion of his death was suicide. Isn't that interesting? Okay, that bitch is 100% evil. She's 100% insane. The fact that she almost became president in 2016 is beyond me. Okay, everything that all the bad things that happened in the Middle East, Hillary Clinton had something to do with it, along with, I would say, throwing in there Anthony Blinken. That man's 100% evil as well. Okay, let me go back to some of the comments. Imagine what can Trump really fix in 4 years? It's over for America. 50 years, two-star hotel. Yeah, America is not looking so great. But I think Canada is going to fall before America. So Canada is going to a disaster. Bill and Hillary endorsed Kamala. Have they already endorsed them? Have they already endorsed them? I really thought that they're going to try to bring out Michelle Obama. I feel like she's going to be the wild card. A lot of people, you know what's crazy? I see a lot of these comments. You guys know Candace Owens. She keeps talking about the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, right? Saying that she's a transgender. It's a he, she. Used to be a dude. I don't know. Well, it could be, and like I mean, it's 2024. Anything is possible. A lot of people are saying that. I've seen this. They're saying that Michelle Obama is actually a big Mike. That basically, she used to be a dude that transitioned. The fact that Obama is actually gay and their children are adopted. I don't know what you guys think of that, but honestly, I think she has a good chance to become a candidate. I think Michelle Obama or Big Mike, whatever you want to call it, might get endorsed by the Democratic Party. Uh, so let me go down. Haktoa. Lower fitness standards, lazy people again can get in. Between U.S. and the Turks in Syria. Okay, you guys want to know something interesting about Syria? Right now, 1/3 of Syria is occupied by the U.S. military. Okay, that's where all the oil fields in Syria are. Okay, all of the oil fields, all of the oils in Syria is being controlled by the U.S. military. I think that should tell you enough. Okay, and there's only two people that you can really, point to for this. It's basically former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. In fact, I would say Hillary Clinton takes more responsibility. She's insane, man. The people that voted for her in 2016, I'm sorry, like shame on you. Like way worse than Joe Biden. 100% tyrant. One of the worst people ever to exist. Okay. Would your potential girlfriend need to be Chinese, Huang? Not necessarily, but I think I would prefer to date an Asian girl. Like at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, I still care. I definitely care about a woman's past and the culture as well. These Western women's, man, like 90% of Western women's, by the time they're 22, they have been completely destroyed by Western cats and Tyrones. Okay, I would say the average body count of a, let's say, a Canadian or American girl that's graduating university. So that's when you're 22 years old, right? It's probably the average body count of a 22-year-old university girl in Canada or the United States is probably between 15 to 20. Okay, 15 to 20 guys that's drilled you. That's when you're 22. Imagine their body count when they're 30. Okay, I think hookup culture has completely destroyed Western women. Okay, because all hookup culture is 5% of men sleeping with 90% of women. It's the Chats and Tyrones there and the Pookie and Ray Rays, whatever you want to call them, that are going through all the women. And if you want to date these women, okay, you had to deal with all the baggage. Okay, why buy a car with 300,000 miles on it when you can just buy a brand new car? Okay, why buy someone that's an emotional train wreck? Because these sexual experiences, these hookup culture, the one night stands, these leave a permanent emotional scars on women. Okay, and it has made women absolutely miserable. Okay, only men enjoy variety. Women do not enjoy variety. Okay, many women after a hookup, they become suicidal and they have existential they have an existential crisis after they feel 100% guilty. Okay, if they're emotionally and physically damaged, it's not good for women. Hookup culture has completely destroyed Western society. That's just the reality. I think that's one of the main reasons why so many Western men are going to Asia to look for an Asian wife, because the body count of these Western women, it's off the roof. It's absolutely ridiculous what I see on college campuses. So many of these women, they have no chance in the future of actually finding a partner. So let me see. I'm just gonna go read through Bill, Bowen, Clinton. Do you believe- is Harris worse than Biden? Kamala Harris, I think she will be worse than Biden. America is on the decline. Anything about Japan past part time. European girls are doing the same. Asian too a lot. Yes, unfortunately, Asian women have learned the hookup culture from Western women has infested them. Okay, let me read another one from Noel. Thank you. So let me click on this. Sensitive subject. So Noel, thank you. Have you heard about CIA involvement in cocaine trafficking in the 1980s? Okay, if so, what do you think about it personally? I know a lot about the CIA, okay? It's probably the most evil organization on earth, I can say for sure, okay? People keep I'm sorry to say, but the CIA was created by the United States of America, okay? Something is quite interesting about CIA, right? So back in 1950, okay, the CIA actually, Alan Dulles, he was the head of the CIA at the time. He actually collaborated with the Taiwanese government, with Kuomintang and Chiang Kai-shek. They actually tried to murder the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai. Okay, the Chinese premier, number two guy in China, so that's the equivalent of China's vice president. They tried to freaking murder this guy. They shut down the plane. They put a bomb on the plane in Hong Kong en route to India to the Baodang conference in Indonesia. It's called the Kashmir Princess. You can look up the incident. I covered this briefly in 10-minute video, but so much happened, okay? They're involved in every single regime change in the world. They're constantly overthrowing people. So the Comrade Zhou Enlai, the reason why he was able to survive because he was a master spy himself. Okay, so China during the Sino-Japanese War, at one point I believe in Southeast Asia they had over 300,000 spies working on them. They actually warned the U.S. many times about the attack on Pearl Harbor. They told President Roosevelt, and they said that please go. You have to be careful. Japan's going to attack. You have to go into defensive position. You have to join the war. You have to help us. You can't let us get annexed. But the U.S. didn't do shit. Okay, all 2,000 people that died at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, they all died for nothing. Okay, you can look up the Kashmir Princess. Okay, the only reason why this story is being told worldwide today was because three people survived that the bomb on the plane. Okay, there were so one of the co-pilots. His name is MC Dixit. Okay, his name is actually MC Dixit. It was an Indian plane, and also one of the mechanical engineer. I believe his name is A.S. Karnik, and there was another one, another engineer. His name is J.C. Pathak. So MC Dixit, A.S. Karnik, J.C. Pathak. Those three people were the only survivors of that plane crash. It was a Taiwanese spy that went to the Hong Kong airport. That plane planted that bomb on that plane. It killed 16 out of 19 people on board. Those people, three people that survived, they lived on to tell their tale. MC Dixit was flown to Beijing to be honored by the Chinese Communist Party. He received the highest civilian honor in China. Okay, it's 100% respected. He actually lived until the age of 105 before he just passed away last year. Okay, CIA is 100% evil. They're trying to throw every single regime out there. They have no business of collaborating with the Taiwanese government to kill the number two guy in China. Okay, that is an evil organization. Okay, and I'm sorry, the USA funded the CIA. I'm aware of a lot of things they have done. Unfortunately, I can't just keep going on to the list because that'll get me into a lot of trouble. But they're involved in some deep shit. So thank you for your question. Yes, I'm aware of pretty much everything the CIA has done. Maybe I have to be careful because I've already spoken so much about Clinton and what happened. But yeah, look up the CIA's assassination attempt on the Chinese premier, China's number two guy. So let me yes, it's his name is the pilot's name, the co-pilot, his name is MC Dixit. One thing that's interesting, the only reason why he was alive is because one of the flight attendant, her name was Gloria Berry. So when the bomb went off on the plane, okay, I think the plane I think it must have it drifted very slow towards the water. It didn't just basically blow up and it fall straight to the water. It was like a very slow descent. So when all the Gloria Berry, she was still fully conscious, even when the cabin was becoming depressurized. She grabbed a life vest for every single person. She put a life vest on every single person before she put one on herself. Unfortunately, by the time it was too late. And the three people that survived was because they were in the pilot's cockpit. And basically, I think the pressure when the plane finally hit the water, the pressure was basically they got the least impact when it hit the water. So those three were able to survive. If it wasn't for those three people, this story would have never been told. I believe there's a book written. I think it was A.S. Karnik that wrote that book. You can look up that book. It's quite interesting. And you should look up more on the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai. His story is quite legendary as well. So let me see. Oh, also one more thing. You are never an ex-CIA member, okay? Once you join the CIA, you're always part of the CIA. So I just want to make something clear. But that is an insane organization. I cannot believe they actually like exist in this world. So, and I think I'll stop that there. Like if I say any more, I'll get myself into more trouble. But thank you for your question, Noel. Uh, JD Vance and Tucker Carlson, both feds. Well, I'm not sure what that means. Do you support JD Vance? You know something that really shocked me. So obviously, when Trump nominated JD Vance, I wasn't shocked, right? So I just I look at this guy. Okay, this is someone I expected Trump to nominate, and I look up his story, and I watched the Republicans' national convention in Milwaukee. So JD Vance, his wife, she's Indian. I think that really, really surprised me. I was not expecting that. I really thought that it would be like a middle-aged white woman. And also, she's quite old, right? So JD Vance, he probably has a lot of money. I thought, if he's married to an Indian girl, she'd be like a 20-year-old old or something. But she's only like a mid 38-year-old Indian woman. That was I don't know what you guys think. So that was a surprise to me. Tucker Carlson. Ah, interesting. Something about Tucker Carlson. You know what I really respect about Tucker Carlson? I don't care. You can hate him or whatever, right? I mean, he's a rich heterosexual white male, right? He doesn't fit the quota, obviously, against the political left. I understand everybody on the political left hates him. Even Justin Trudeau hates him. But Tucker Carlson is very popular in Canada as well. Have you guys noticed something? Okay, every single person I consider to be a conservative, well, I consider to be, for example, Dr. Jordan Peterson and his daughter Michaela. By the way, Michaela, she's a hoe. I'm sorry, but I believe Michaela is the reason why Dr. Jordan Peterson. I think he's lost his mind. So, what's a really hardcore conservative like Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, right? Hardcore conservative, and who else? Chris Williamson, Dennis Prager, Andrew Clavin, Ben Shapiro, even Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, everything that's basically every single person that I consider to be a hardcore, basically conservative in the United States or anywhere in the world. Have you guys noticed something? They're all 100% unapologetically pro-Israel. Have you guys noticed that? Have you guys noticed, like, when Charlie Kirk talks, right? He makes a lot of good points, but when it comes to Israel, Israel is always right. Tucker Carlson is the only person out there. I believe he's a 100% top G. He keeps it real. He says it just as it is. Okay. By the way, I'm not pro or anti-Israel. Okay, they have their issues. So does Iran. So does other countries. But I certainly don't agree with some of the points these people are making. Sometimes I watch these debates and I think, actually, Charlie Kirk is making a good point. I think Dr. Jordan Peterson is making a good point, or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is making a good point. But when they talk about Israel, and they start to lose my interest. So, but I respect Tucker Carlson for because he's one of those people that's actually not pro-Israel. So I respect him for that. Oh, okay. Let me go through the comments. Someone said a $100 super thank you. Moondog, $100 Canadian. Okay, this has never happened. Holy shit! Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna read this. So this is the $100 super chat, and I have to I'm gonna actually I'm gonna take a screenshot of this so I have to remember. Make a video about how psychoanalyst Nancy Coburn wrote in her book Banality, Banality, that we must promote feminism to stop violence in the Middle East. But psychologist Faye Schneider disagrees. The manual daycare causes babies to get BPD, which I think your mom has. That's very interesting. I haven't heard of any of these people. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna remember this name. And since you said send a $100 super thank you, I will definitely try to cover this. I'll try to find a time slot. Thank you so much for the support. So Moondog, $100 Canadian super thank you. So since this is Canadian dollars, you're coming from Canada. Thank you so much for the super chat. I just took a screenshot, so I'll remember that. I'll go through some of these current comments. Yes, my mom, she has very deep emotional trauma. She has gone through a lot in her life. She definitely has some issues. But uh, I'll cover more story about my families in the future. And I am going back to China this November, and I'm not moving back to China. Okay, this will be likely be my last visit because yes, I at this point I do believe in witchcraft and curses to a certain extent. I believe my family has been poisoned and has been cursed. Okay, and I won't discuss the rest of the details on these live stream, but my family has done some terrible things in the past. I think karma has come back to bite my family basically right in the ass. Some terrible things has happened, and yes, my mom has a lot of issues. So and it's very unfortunate. I had to personally stop many of her suicide attempts. So I'll look up into the story. And thank you so much, Moondoc, for $100 Canadian. I will look up into that topic. And I'll read some other comments. Thank you so much. Uh, Let me. Where was I before? I was at JD Vance and Tucker. Oh yeah, JD Vance. JD Vance has an Indian wife. Then Tucker Carlson. He keeps it 100% real. He's not one of those people that's always pro-Israel. So let me see. Sup. Let me go. Not all Eastern Europe and Bosnia. Bosnia. Something very interesting. You guys know. You guys want to talk about all the war crimes and this stuff? Okay, China didn't do any of this. Don't never ever forget. Okay, you can look up the history of what happened during the Serbia and the Bosnia war, right? During all of the war crimes they committed. Don't ever forget that during the Civil War in the 1990s, okay, a missile actually struck the Chinese embassy, okay, it murdered three innocent Chinese civilians that was working at the embassy, okay. Never ever forget those war crimes, and never ever forget, okay, what happened also to basically what do you want to call a state or a country, Kosovo, okay. We'll just say it's a principality or something. You guys want to know how Kosovo was created? Okay, Kosovo was created after the US military went into Serbia along with NATO members. They carpet bombed Serbia for 78 days nonstop. They committed countless crimes against humanity, okay, during that war. Okay, that's how the state of Kosovo was created. The United States and the CIA was involved. They carpet bombed Serbia for 78 days. Okay, to all the people who you want to talk bad stuff about the Chinese Communist Party, I'm sorry. The U.S. has committed so many crimes against humanities, in the past so many decades, all led by the CIA. Okay, you guys are the ones who are doing it. I'm sorry, and I believe karma is going to come back to the Western civilization. I believe a lot of things that's happening in the West is a direct result of what you guys did in the past. Okay, it wasn't the Chinese Communist Party that did this. So, can you explain? Can you Ukraine is worse than Russia? Look up what's happening to the Christians in Ukraine. Okay, they're actively trying to prosecute Christians. What's that journalist's name? Gonzalo Gonzalo Lira. Sorry, I don't have any notes. Okay, like I said, everything I've said, I'm just directly looking at my phone screen. I'm reading the comments on my computer screen, off the top of my head. Gonzalo Lira, he's a Chilean American journalist. Okay, he traveled to Ukraine to cover the Ukraine-Russian war. Look at what they did to him, right? He was first locked up in prison. He was starved because he talked bad shit about Ukraine when he was basically filming his videos for his freelance journalism. He was let go, and then he was able to purchase a bicycle. He tried to ride to the border to escape to Hungary, and he was once again arrested, and he was starved to death in Ukrainian prison. It wasn't the Russians. It was the Ukrainians who did that. Not just that. Not just that. Okay, Ukraine. You guys want to know something interesting about Ukraine, right? You say they're a democracy. Remember, Zelensky has canceled elections. Okay, I don't think that's a democracy. Also, Ukraine, I believe in the past 20 years, they have rejected 12 opposition parties. It could be 10, could be 11, could be 12. They have rejected every single opposition party that tried to rise up. Okay, also, in 2014, what happened? Remember, Viktor Yanukovych, he won the election, right? He was a pro-Russian. The CIA, once again, they spent $5 billion, okay, $5 billion to go into Ukraine in 2014, and they overthrew the results of the election. They said it was illegitimate, and they basically overthrew another regime in Ukraine, and they installed a pro-NATO government. Okay, all in an effort to provoke Russia. That was done by the CIA under Barack Obama and Joe Biden. They spent $5 billion overthrowing the Ukrainian election. That's not a democracy. There's so much more, but I need to jump on to other comments. It's definitely a worse country than Russia. I'm sorry. You often perks. If you want to know horror stories, look further American history. Yes, look no further. Remember the Salem witch trial, right? That's pretty crazy shit. Okay, Salem witch trial right outside of Boston. That happened in the United States. Let's see. Chinese people getting down in the streets. What? You in America? No, I'm currently in Canada. Chinese Prime Minister. Well, President Xi Jinping, he goes by president. I don't think China uses the term prime minister. China does not have a number two or number three right now. They're all vacant. Right now, it's just Xi Jinping, just one person at the top. So, let me read this. Okay, there's another super chat. Sorry, there's a lot of comments. I think I went on too long about the CIA. Thank you so much, Adrian Thomas, for $10. Salute to a Chinese historian and East Asian manosphere. At BG Sibmore hit me to your channel. I'm not sure who's a. Well, thank you. I would say thank you to BG Sibmore as well, who basically told you about my channel. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I will definitely focus a lot more on East Asia. In fact, starting, I would say, before the end of the year, the contents, 90% of my contents for the next 2 years, from 2025 until 2026, were about my experience in China. So it's going to be 100% unique and original. Definitely looking forward to it. The reason why I'm getting more political now, because obviously with Biden's resignation and the U.S. election coming up, so I need something to cover my channel for the next few months. And yes, I will absolutely cover the Cold War. Okay, the USSR. I will cover Joseph Stalin, Leon Trotsky. I will cover the Bolsheviks. I will cover the Russian Civil War. So that will all be coming up. I'll be released before the end of the year. I'll talk more about it, in fact, during this live stream. But let me read some more comments. Do you have a military conscription in Greece? Okay, I don't know this Luca person. These questions are not related to this live stream, but I don't know about Greece. Learn less from American. What would happen if Russia conquered Ukraine? I don't think that's gonna happen. If Trump becomes president, I believe he can solve that in one day. I don't think. I think Ukraine will remain independent. However, I'll talk more when I talk about. I will talk about the Holodomor when I cover the Cold War series. Obviously, the Holodomor, which killed 10 million people, most of them in Ukraine. So I'll tell you guys why NATO and the West is so obsessed with defending Ukraine. So most Americans don't know geography. Yes, it's very concerning. Well, in fact, a lot of Americans don't realize, for example, Guam and Puerto Rico, right? They're U.S. territories. Okay, so also I don't know, like why doesn't Guam get any electorals? Shouldn't they get at least two or three? Like Hawaii gets three electoral votes, right? So Guam is U.S. territory, but citizens of Guam they don't have the rights to vote. Same with American Samoa. Don't shouldn't they have any electorals? So yes, a lot of people in the West are very bad at geography. I agree. Uh, are you only answering geopolitical questions? No, I'm. Well, there's a lot of comments. I'm just trying to go. I don't know why Chinese historian is this person a bot? Lucas 1706 because a lot of these comments are not related. I'm gonna have to skip Lucas from now on because I don't know if this is a bot. Let me see. Why would he say never? I think he doesn't understand. We talk to each other too. They may not. Okay, let me see. He picked up on that. Bro historian, we talk to each other as well. Okay, I'm about to get banned. Luca. Okay. If you were my history teacher, I would pay attention in school. Thank you so much. Oh, another another super chat from Moondog for $5. Okay, Emotional Life of Nations by a psychohistorian Lloyd the Mouse. Okay, I will look that up. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat from Moondog. Okay, okay, Luca, I'm not a bot. Okay, it's good to know. I'm gonna read through the Ukraine will be divided like North and South Korea. West Ukraine will be EU orientated. I think that already happened in 2014 because the war in the Donbass region. Sorry, I need more water. The war already started. Ukraine has been in a state of war since 2014, so I don't think that's anything new. Democrats need an ultimate DEI candidate. Yes, a black, trans, vegan, queer immigrant. So, uh, like I said, I think Michelle Obama will be a front runner. Let me see. What's your favorite history book? I don't know. I don't have any books in particular. I mostly watch like not originals, like documentary styles. So, because I get to learn a lot more. Let me see. Okay. Well, it's good to know because Luca, you're not a bot, right? So if you're not a bot, you should okay. Because if it's a bot, I usually ban those because they leave some weird stuff. So Ukraine doesn't have a navy sunk half of Russian. So Luca, they all say that. Okay. Opinion is on Zhuge Liang and then the Kuomintang. Okay, that's very very complicated. Uh, okay, I won't. Okay, 1 second. I will get to it. There's another $100 super chat. Dylan Shardy. Okay, thank you so much for $100. This is US dollar. Oh, well, thank you so much for the super chat. So I'm gonna take a screenshot just so I remember this. Okay. I demand you interview Ramsey Po, the leader of the white race. I'm not sure where I can find that guy. I've actually never ever heard of that guy. Is he one of those? Is he friends with what's that guy's name? Thomas Robb, the Grand Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Actually, I've been to Zinc and what's his name? Zinc and Harrison, Arkansas. I tried to meet members of the Ku Klux Klan, but I wasn't able to meet any of them. I don't think if Ramsey Poe is really like in the inner circle of those guys, I don't think I'll be able to meet them. So, so I'm not at that point. I'm not like Ben Shapiro or like Charlie Kirk. I don't have like a platform with tens of millions of followers. I'm just a normal Chinese guy. I'm just a normal 5'8" Chinese guy. Maybe as I grow, I'll be able to reach out to more people. But for now, I think my reach is quite limited. So most people have never heard of me. So in the future, I will definitely look up into a Ramsey Pool. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat. Let me just read some of my comments. Should I really migrate to China? I don't know about that. It's very hard to get a permanent residence in China. So they have very strict immigration policies. And also, if you want to live in China, you probably have to learn Mandarin Chinese. You have to learn to become fluent, and it probably helps. Like I'm sorry to say, but it's better to be a white person if you actually want to immigrate to China. If you're not an ethnic Chinese person, at least if you're other Asian, like Korean, might be okay. They definitely hate the Japanese. They probably don't like the Filipinos or Vietnamese or Cambodians because they're from poor countries. And if you're Indian, maybe you'll be okay if you're light skinned, but definitely not if you're dark skinned. And I don't know. They if you're a black person living in China, might be a little bit difficult unless if you're fluent in Mandarin Chinese, then it might be okay. So let me keep reading this. Appreciate, bro. China getting rich out there. So, right, you open okay, Zhuge Liang. So someone named Zhuge Liang. Oh yes, previous question. Something interesting about Kuomintang, the Kuomintang led by Chiang Kai-shek, right? So actually, Chairman Mao Zedong had a chance to wipe all of them out. Okay, so what's that saying? Keep your friends close and keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. So, at one point, Chiang Kai-shek, he's absolutely ruthless. He actually basically he kidnapped Chairman Mao Zedong's second wife and his son, and he brutally murdered both of them. And so during when the Japanese invaded China, right? Everybody, because at the time the official government of China was Kuomintang, the Kuomintang, led by Chiang Kai-shek, the Generalissimo, what they call him, uh, 蒋委员长. That's what they call him in Mandarin Chinese. They call him in English. They call it Generalissimo. So everybody, all his subordinates told him to basically team up with Mao and stop the Japanese invasion. And he refused. Okay, the reason why China was so terrible during the Second Sino-Japanese War was because he refused to fight the Japanese. He wanted to stamp out all the communists. So his subordinates actually kidnapped him. Okay, and Mao Zedong then came in. He had a chance to actually murder Chiang Kai-shek and his entire family, but the chairman Mao Zedong refused to do so. Okay, that's how Chairman Mao Zedong, I believe it was that at that exact moment, that's when he won the war because he won the hearts of the nation. At that point, over 90% of the Chinese citizens started to support Mao Zedong's ideas and the Maoist ideologies because they believe that the Generalissimo has lost his mind. The fact that he murdered his second wife and his son, the fact that he refused to fight the Japanese, and Mao, despite everything that happened, even though he had a chance to basically cut his head off, he said, no, we're going to team up and we're going to fight the Japanese together. That's when Mao Zedong won the Chinese Civil War. So there's something about the Kuomintang. I don't know if you ever heard of that. By the way, Mao Zedong, he was quite a player. He's believed to have had at least how many wives? Not how many wives. Well, he has 4 wives. He's had 4 wives in total, not at the same time, of course, but he slept with lots of women. I believe he has 10 children confirmed at least, possibly 11. So he's up there with Elon Musk. What does Andrew Tate call that? Yeah, he's somewhat of a top G. Do Chinese people like Mexicans? Probably not so much. Sorry, there's a fly. What do Chinese people think of Thai people? Not so much. No, China is mostly, I would say, not very open to foreigners. They prefer to be xenophobic and closed off, I think. So, how strong do you think of the potential Vietnam-U.S. relations could be a wake of a Chinese incursion of the South China Sea? So, yes, I realize, China is trying to be a bully, right? They're trying to be a dickhead in the South China Sea. So what? I think I tell people the USA needs to. Okay, something has flown into the bedroom. I'll try to take out. There's a fly in here. It's been bugging me. So yeah, it's not the business of the United States military or the U.S. government or the CIA to be involved. Okay, that's whatever happens to them, that's their own problem. So let them deal with it. Okay, let China and Vietnam and the Philippines and Japan let them deal with it on themselves. Okay, it's not the business of the USA to interfere with these kind of businesses. Okay, the military industrial complex in the USA needs to be shut down. Like all those troops that's living overseas. Okay, they all need to be sent home. That's the number one goal of the USA. Nobody's mentioning this, okay? All those military bases, they need to be shut down, okay? Thousands of troops are from the US are dying overseas every single year for absolutely no reason. They have no businesses being there, okay? Whatever problems they have, okay, let them sort it out, okay? It's not the US job to be the world military police, okay? Let me see. Okay, Dylan Sharding, thank you for. Oh, there's another super chat from Dylan Sharding. Okay, it is very accessible to contact Ramsey Paul. Your contact and no problem. I ask you to make conversation with him to witness such minds play ball, such greatness 3 times. Okay, I have to look into him. I've never ever heard of this guy, but I'll take a screenshot. Thank you so much, Dylan Sharding, Ramsey Paul. Okay, then I will look into it. Okay, let me see. Thoughts on Arabs? Like what? Like the Arab Spring, or are you talking about the Hezbollah? Or but not too much. I want to cover some other stuff, but let me read through a few more of these comments. But because I do want to talk about like what videos coming up. So greetings. Any thoughts? Sino-Russian war? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Because due to the sanctions on Russia and the invasion of Ukraine and what has happened, China souring of relation between China and the U.S. and this China's new alliance with Pakistan, with Iran, and also with OPEC countries, with Saudi Arabia. I don't think they'll be going back to a war, at least not anytime soon. So they're gonna stay allies for now. Uh, do Chinese people thug shake better? What? Uh, your latest black, your latest single parents exclusive to black community worse than Chinese. Yes. I will come back to cover more of that topic in future videos. Yes, I agree. Sorry, there's a crazy fly in the room. So it's America's business to spread democracy and eradicate communism and dictatorship. Oh, quite interesting. What's his name? Jason Mardonio Meza. Okay, I'll tell you another story. So it's America's business to help spread democracy, right? You know about the invasion of Iraq, right? So the U.S. It claims that they're weapons of mass destruction. Okay, that's what George Bush claims. Okay, he went into Iraq. By the way, Canada was against it. France was against it. Australia was against it. Almost every single NATO member was against it. Okay, so there was this guy. His name is David Kelly. You can look up David Kelly. David Kelly is a United States weapons inspector. Okay, he's from the UK. He's a white British guy. Okay, so George Bush wants these people from the UN to prove that actually Saddam Hussein has nuclear weapons. So he, this guy David Kelly, he was sent to Iraq 36 times, confirmed trips. Okay, you can look up his trips to Iraq. Okay, every single one of them was logged. He met with Saddam Hussein many times. Okay, in Baghdad, and he returned every single time. He told the members of the UN, okay, Iraq and Saddam Hussein does not have any nuclear weapons. Okay, that country is not a nuclear threat. Okay, then actually he met up with Tony Blair. Tony Blair at the time he was the prime minister of the UK. Tony Blair also works for the World Economic Forum. Okay, so Tony Blair. Okay, the fly is really pissing me off now. So Tony Blair actually met up with David Kelly at least twice. Okay, first visit, right? So this is a few months before invasion of Iraq. Sits down with David Kelly. He asks, "Okay, does Saddam Hussein have nuclear weapons?" David Kelly said, "I'm positive he does not have nuclear weapons." Okay, then he said, "Okay, I don't believe you." So Tony Blair personally sends David Kelly back to Baghdad. He says, "Go to Saddam Hussein's place. Okay, go check out the military. Then tell me again, does Saddam Hussein have nuclear weapons?" So he returned in March of 2003. He told Tony Blair, "Okay, I am 100% positive that Iraq and Saddam Hussein does not have nuclear weapons." Then what happens? So Tony Blair says, okay, all right, so he does not have nuclear weapons. Then Tony Blair joins forces with George Bush. The British, they also send troops to Iraq, okay? So invasion of Iraq happens. As soon as USA enters Iraq, millions of barrels of oil are being pumped out of Iraq. Okay, between 1 to 2 million Iraqis died. Okay, you cannot deny that actually happened. So right after, by the way, there's one senator, okay, from Arkansas, Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton joins the invasion of Iraq. Okay, he was a nobody when he went into Iraq. Okay, he actually raided the palace in Baghdad. He raided Saddam Hussein's palace. He left Iraq. He left Baghdad. When he came back, he was a multi-millionaire. Look up Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. Okay, so after the U.S. captures Baghdad, U.S. overthrows basically Saddam Hussein's regime. Okay, then David Kelly, he's the United Nations weapons inspector. United Nations sends him back. They want to send him back to Iraq to inspect once again. They said that maybe this time you can find nuclear weapons. He lands in Kuwait. His visa gets rejected. Okay, then basically he has to fly back to the UK. He has to reapply for his visa because he said, okay, I'm being sent to the UN. I need to inspect the state of Iraq. Okay, I need to be able to find if the Saddam Hussein has had nuclear weapons. Okay, then right before he was supposed to scheduled to visit Iraq for the 37th time. Okay, he was found to be dead a mile away from his house. Okay, laying dead by a tree. Okay, guess who appointed? So Tony Blair then said that, okay, this is a serious deal, so we need to appoint someone to investigate this case. Okay, Tony Blair appoints Sean Hutton. Okay, and they formed the Hutton Committee. Okay, and the Hutton report quickly concluded within days. They literally said that basically David Kelly used his own knife to slash his wrist. That was concluded to be a suicide. Even the coroner, you can look up the coroner's statement. He said that the suicide was not possible because David Kelly's his fingerprints cannot be found on the knife. Okay, and there's no blood anywhere. There's no way this guy slit his wrist. Okay, this death is highly suspicious. The fact that he was about to visit Iraq and he just mysteriously kills himself. But Tony Blair actually made a public statement. He said that, don't worry, okay, this is a tragic event. This is a tragic suicide, and this investigation is done. We're not going back to Iraq. Saddam Hussein has nuclear weapons. He has weapons of mass destruction, and the case closed. Okay, you can look up David Kelly. Okay, so that's your democracy. Okay, this guy visits Iraq 36 times to confirm that there's no nuclear weapons. Then Tony Blair, along with George Bush, goes in and murders 1 to 2 million people. Yeah, that's your democracy. Okay, sorry, that story went on for too long. So, let me see. Let me see. Almost 9% of South Asian ancestry. Yes. Okay. Jason, I'm sure nothing like that happening in China and Russia. No, China has never ever done anything like that. They've never went to a foreign country to murder 1 to 2 million people. But if that's how you feel about the U.S. military-industrial complex, then I'm sorry, I can't change your mind. But you should look up David Kelly to see what happened to him. Okay, there's another super chat. Let me go through. Okay, there's quite a few more comments. Okay, Moondog, $5. Okay, I missed a lot of comments. So I'll do a video on the last page of the chapter. Don't know much about natural history. Okay, the book of Last Child in the Woods, quote by Rashid Salahuddin. Okay, I will look into it, but unfortunately, like I said, I do want to cover the USSR and the Cold War. I will have a full-length documentary coming up in the future on what's the topic I wanted to discuss. Right before the election, because I believe this is the closest we have been to a global nuclear Armageddon. So I will release a full-length documentary on the Cuban Missile Crisis and from all perspectives. But I need to obviously, so I have a lot of videos pretty much all lined up for the future. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can squeeze in time for more other videos, because before the end of the year, I will have videos coming out from my China trip. So that's what I have lined up. But in this fall, expect I would say starting September, probably go on October, November, you'll see a lot of stuff from the Soviet era and covering the Cold War and a lot of political topics right before I moved to China. So I will definitely take your word for migrating to China. Talk about the Chinese Uyghurs. Okay, whatever you see on the Western media it's all lies. Okay, that's all I have to say. Let me read that. What do you think of rise of Chinese women dating foreign men and increasing numbers? I can't control other people's lives. That if that's what makes them happy, that's if that's what they want to date, then that's what they want to date, right? It's not my decision. You're free to choose whatever you want to date and whatever you want to marry. Okay, I'm not against interracial dating or marriage, but it is a reality. Like the number one most common interracial marriage is between a white Western male and the Asian female. That's just the reality, right? Like people can argue. You can argue about whatever you want to, but generally speaking, that's how. Like on the male side, certainly Asian male are always constantly ranked on the bottom. So let me see. Same serious question. Chess and Weiqi. Okay, I'm gonna skip these. What do you think of? Yeah, the U.S. is no business with all those military bases overseas. Okay, they're not my priority. The USA needs to protect itself. Okay, and the USA needs to secure its own borders because right now USA does not have a border. They have no business of being in Asia. So let me see. Uh, I do not see North Korea sending food to Russia on my bingo card. Okay, if Taiwan becomes ground zero for most American will try to dodge for sure. Yes, most Americans will try to dodge for sure. Okay, there's a lot of comments since I started talking about Iraq, but I think I'm gonna have to skip over the military-industrial complex for now because where I think the live stream might get into trouble. I think I've talked enough stuff. Though I'm gonna talk about lighter topics. Okay, even though it's a live stream. So what do you think of future left over in China? Cho Mary, do Chinese feel really? What do Chinese people really think about Indian people? They probably don't like them very much. Okay, to be honest. We should annex Canada. Yes, America is a republic. Yes, America is a constitutional republic. Uh, if a country wants America's help to stay a democracy, America should help. Okay, I'll skip forward. Actually, Mexico, a community called Chinatown. Chinese people Mexicans. What's your opinion on David Goggins? I don't really follow him, but I think he's alright. Probably a better person than Andrew Tate, I would have to say. North Korea will be a movie set, like real country. Their officials have similar names too. Okay, let me go down. Canada will soon become Little India. Defecation problem. Yeah, the immigration system has completely failed Canada. It's completely out of control. Iraqis. What is China doing to Jamaica? I don't know. I don't know everything about China. I'm not sure what China is doing to Jamaica. They trying to are they buying up a Jamaican property to try to take control, like what they're doing to Sri Lanka? I'm not really sure. Sorry. By the way, like I said, I'm just looking at the screen. I'm not googling any questions. I don't have any sources. I'm just telling things just the way it is. Okay, Indians are 3% of the population. Unlike Islam followers, India is pretty diverse. Okay, like BlackRock. Chinese immigrants there, parts of British countryside, issues of Chinese tourists too. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving Hong Kong due to the new national security law. So a lot of the new waves of Chinese immigrants are definitely coming from Hong Kong. They're escaping the China's new national security law. So that's why it's an influx of Chinese immigrants. Okay, ask before this is Moondog, another $5 super thank you. Thank you. So thank you, Moondog. Ask before war author Alicia Deva for an interview on our channel. She specializes in interviewing men from Manosphere about gender wars. Go have to look into it. Okay. I haven't heard of that person, Alicia Deva. But like I said, I am about to go to China soon. So once I go to China, I won't be able to do any more live streams. Okay, because I don't think it will work. Even if it were to, it would just complete. It will be stuck on buffering all the time. And so I'm gonna be filming every day for a few months. So my videos will be look a little bit different because I want to film an original series. I'll have to look into it. But before the end of the year, so you will see the contents coming out of China. So I think that's the goal for the near future of this channel. Because if I keep following the dating manosphere, unfortunately, I think something terrible is gonna happen. I did look up Kevin Samuels, and so he passed away right a couple years ago. Is it 1 or 2 years ago? I think his death is extremely suspicious because if this channel turned into a dating channel, I believe either the channel will go down or I will go down because that's how the world is. They're actively trying to destroy men, and if you say the wrong things that triggers a certain group of women, you're 100% going down. So, but thank you. Thank you for the super thank you, Moondog. Alicia Deva. Okay. Taiwanese, yo. Okay. Let me see. Can America stop the Chinese hurricane bomb? I do not know. Let me see. Do Chinese grandpas play Weiqi? Do you like Weiqi? No, I don't think I ever played Weiqi growing up. I think I was forced to learn it, but I never liked it. I was never interested, never into chess. Mega will go crazy. Uh, you know a lot about Iraq, but China's questions, you say you don't know anything. Okay, so clearly, this person Jason Mardonio Meza. Okay, uh, I think so. You have something against the Chinese Communist Party, right? So if you're against the Chinese Communist Party, I'm sorry, you're on the wrong live stream. Okay, I'm not here to spread propaganda. Okay, so you should look up your own history. Look at what the USA did to Congo. Look at what they did to Patrice Lumumba. Look at what they did to Muammar Gaddafi. Look at what they did to Syria, to Afghanistan, to Iraq. Okay, so let me see. Our as a Chinese man, where's the history? He grew up in China. We got you. What cities in China? Monkey. Okay, let me just read the comments. Uh, I'm sorry, Jason, you're going to get blocked. Okay, as of this moment. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read the comments, but I'm sorry. I have to remove Jason because he's leaving some inappropriate comments. Some of them is actually shown on the live chats. It's being hidden. So let me just read this. Super. Okay. Super. Thank you. 12 euros. Thank you so much. Do you ever read the works of Julius Evola or Nicolas Gomez de Villa? If not, check out Revolt Against the Modern World and Scholia to Implicit Text. Those could interest you. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much to XXX, well, 10x02 for 12 euros. Okay. So, uh, thank you so much. I will look into it. Thank you for the $12 euro super chat. I'll read some of more comments. Senator Armstrong, go where? Okay, too many efforts. I own dirt here in White Conda, Idaho. Okay. Your channel is about history. Why did you talk about sleazy dating? Okay. I'm gonna skip some of that. So, do you think China will surpass the West? Do you think China is a sleeping giant? China has a lot of issues. Okay. So it's hard to say. Okay. Unfortunately, basically, the woke feminist ideology has also corrupted the modern Chinese culture. So they will have a lot of problems for the future. The future of the world is not looking very great. I have to be honest. That's just how it is. Let me see. I'm gonna remove. Well, what are your plans? America did many things, but people forget which is Saturday. Okay. Julius Evola. Okay. Appoint a couple of mods. Okay. Okay, I see there's a couple comments about Jason. I'm sorry, it's just that I think he has left like over 50 questions on this chat, and a lot of them have been some of it was actually hidden. It's not shown on the feeds. Some of it is quite inappropriate. I just well, I'm sorry when you leave 50 questions just 100% trying to attack me. I'm sorry, I have to block you. So will you be working getting a wife or girlfriend while in China? No, when I'm back in China, I will be filming every single day for a few months. So I'll be very, very busy. Like I said, I think the series will last for 2 years. Most of it will be a family-friendly content because the channel is going to get quite political for the next few months, and some topics will be extremely dark. Like when I talk about the Lubyanka and the Tricus and the KGB. So I think I will have more content, just family-friendly content for my China series. I want to basically, bring people together, bring a joy to everybody's lives. So, and I don't think I'll have any time for trying to look for a girlfriend or anything. So I'll just be busy working every single day. That's the goal. Uh, isn't removing comments censorship? Uh, no, the ones that get flagged is automatically flagged by YouTube algorithm. Okay. And by the way, I don't believe in freedom of speech. I'll explain that when I talk about the political rights and the political left during my election special. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of comments. We Chinese, one good question. What are your thoughts on passport? What do you think about having kids and anti-natalism? Thank you. Well, it's hard to say, man. Honestly, I don't know if having kids is worth it in 2024. The cost of living has gone up so much. It's unbelievable. Like I don't know how. Like if you're making average income, let's say if you live in New York or Boston, and if you make $50,000 a year, your partner makes like $40,000 a year. I don't know how the hell you can afford to raise two children. It's gotten unbelievably expensive. So honestly, maybe think life is the way to go. Even though it's important for young people to have children, but the government's policies are not really helping us, right? It's just there's really not any incentive to like having children for the future. It's the world is going straight, and not just that. Like look at what's happening. Like if you look at what's happening to Toronto, look at Montreal, right? No, look at Vancouver. Okay, look at the rampant crimes that's happening. Okay, is the city even safe to raise your children anymore? Honestly, like I don't know. To be honest, I'm more prone to just maybe it's better to not have children. 1 in 5 people born today in Nigeria gonna be huge. Well, I think their birth rate will slow down eventually, right? I've read that so Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa now, obviously. So the population is what 225 million, maybe 230 million. But eventually they're going to run into issues, right? They're not a huge country, but eventually I think their birth rates will slow down because the country can only take so many people. At one point, it's going to peak and they'll start going to a decline because they can't just keep going up and up and up. Yes, I've read that. 1 out of 5 births in the world is in Nigeria now. Okay, let me see. Okay, sorry, I'm just scanning. Okay, why it's not like buying Legos? Bad idea, bro. WTF, sad. Okay, CCP, no freedom of speech. Okay, interesting. CCP, no freedom of speech. Okay, in America, can you say the N word? No, I'm serious. I'm asking you. Okay, someone commented, right? CCP, no freedom of speech. Because in China, everybody can say the N word. Okay, freedom of speech, how do you define it? That's why I don't believe in freedom of speech. Where I've been told is all lies, okay? Everybody, okay, in China, okay, anybody can say the N word to a black person. They can take a picture and a video, they can post it onto social media, get thousands of likes. Can you do that in the United States? Okay? You're the ones who have a misunderstanding of freedom of speech because China, everybody can say the N word, okay? I'll just leave that there, okay? If you think that China does not have freedom of speech, Biden stepping down. What's a good city in Canada for older Black American to see friendly snow bunnies? I don't know. Maybe you have to come to Toronto, probably the most liberal city in Canada. Okay. Well, there's a massive LGBTQ population as well. So, but if you're really interested in snow bunny, there are lots of white women in Canada that's interested in black man. Yeah. Maybe you try Toronto. Maybe you can try Ottawa, the capital as well. I wouldn't, if you don't speak French, I wouldn't recommend going to Quebec because they don't like people who don't speak any French over there. So Biden stepping down. Uh, do you think you're still not bad? I mean, China has done a lot of bad things too. Yes, I realize that China has done bad things, but I'm saying that when you look at a global scale, okay, the USA has done way more evil versus China. Okay, China has one military base worldwide. Okay, China has one military base in Djibouti. The United States has over 800 military bases. Okay, you guys really want to me to go on this topic, right? I'll tell you something more about the military industrial complex. Okay, look up. Okay, look up. So the Korean War in 1950, right? Okay, listen. I don't know if I can say this on the live stream. Okay, I won't go into the details. Look up the No Gunri massacre. Once again, no Gangri massacre. Okay, this is the U.S. version of the My Lai massacre. This took place on the border between North and South Korea on the 38th parallel. Okay, so when the war first broke out between North and South Korea, the USA came and intervened. Okay, so there was roughly 600 refugees that tried to flee South Korea, tried to flee the war. They tried to flee from South to North Korea. Okay, the USA and went there to these villagers. They were trapped under these two tunnels. You can look up the Noganri massacre. The United States military murdered between 250 to 300 innocent South Korean refugees. Okay, they tried to cover this up for 49 years. Okay, and this is thanks to the effort of many witnesses and many journalists for the effort for the next 49 years. And throughout their countless hours of hard work, they finally cracked the case on the Noganri massacre. The fact that the U.S. troops went in and actually opened fire, they magnum dumped these 250 to 300 innocent civilians. Okay, in the end, it was the North Korean troops that saved their lives. Okay, The USA, they went My Lai massacre mode in No Gun Ray. There's 2 tunnels there. They trapped those 6 innocent civilians under those tunnels for many, many days. Okay, anybody that's tried to escape, they rained fire on them. They killed 250 to 300 of them, and the USA denied this for 49 years. Wasn't until the Bill Clinton administration, when all the evidence finally came together, okay, he finally apologized on behalf of the No Gun Ray massacre. You want to know something interesting? The Bodo Leak massacre. Why don't you look up the Bodo Leak massacre? Okay, do you know the Bodo Leak massacre? That also happened during the Korean War. The South Koreans murdered upwards of 200,000 North Koreans. 200,000 North Koreans, okay? The USA, most of it, by the way, most of the 200,000, they were innocent women and children, okay? You can look up the historical archives, look up the burial sites. The USA covered this up for many, many years. Well, the USA did not commit the Bodo Leak massacre. However, they just sat there and watched it happen, okay? They didn't do anything. Okay, they just sat there and let this happen. Okay, and they documented everything. They took videos, they did interviews, they took pictures. They watched 200,000 civilians getting slaughtered during the Bodo Leak massacre, and the USA did not do anything. Okay, it was the South Koreans who did this to the North Koreans. Yeah, that's your democracy. That's your freedom. Okay, yeah, look up the No Gun Ray massacre. You'll see what the U.S. troops did. Look up the pictures taken at the tunnels. Look at what they did to the villagers. The USA has done 10 times, hundreds times more evil versus China. China has never ever done anything like that. It was the North Koreans that rescued those refugees who was fleeing from the No Gun Ray massacre. Okay, don't keep bringing shit like that up. Okay. Okay, my AirPods battery is getting down to 20%. I don't know how the audio is gonna turn out if I turn it off, take off my AirPod. So I can keep this up live stream up for a little bit longer, but I'm not sure how many longer. Like I'm just gonna I'm gonna go try to go through the comments. I still haven't talked about my future videos coming up. So let me see. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Okay. No, it wasn't Bill Clinton. It was 4 journalists. They won the Pulitzer Prize for their investigative work, and they shoved this in Bill Clinton's faces. They said, "Here's the evidence. There's photos and everything of all the dead bodies laying underneath the tunnels." And they finally forced Bill Clinton to apologize. It was because the evidence became overwhelming. Uh, okay. Uh, okay. Luca, I'm gonna block you. Okay. The next, if you keep on posting stuff like this, like I said, okay. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to support it, because at this point you're supporting the U.S. military-industrial complex. Okay. So you're breaking up, sir. Why you no talk, Matthew? Do you think Trump or Harris will be reelected? Trump is going to win. Okay. That's what I believe 100%. So before my AirPods battery ran out, sorry, the lighting is getting terrible. Here, let me try to block this. It's the sign setting. So I'm gonna talk about the videos will be coming up. So in September, before my batteries run out, okay, I'm gonna. So, but before my battery runs out in September, I'm hoping to make it to the presidential debate, whether it's between Trump or Harris, or is it between Trump and Kamala. Okay, whoever it is. So September 10th, I'm hoping to make it to the debate. If it's too far, I can fly there. And yeah, sorry about the lighting before. And like I said, I think I have another maybe 10 to 15 minutes, because if I take off the AirPods, I think the audio is going to get extremely poor. So I'll keep this up for 10 to 15 minutes. So and so I will be covering a lot more on the elections. And like I said, I do believe the world is definitely heading back towards the nuclear Armageddon, and I believe in world peace, and I believe that Trump can bring world peace. So uh, probably starting September, October, I will cover topics like I said it before. I will cover the Bolsheviks. I will cover like John Kerensky. I will cover things like the Holodomor, obviously. I will cover the origins of the KGB. I will cover the Lubyanka. I will cover the Lefortovo. I will cover the what happened to the Romanovs. I will cover the House of Special Purpose. Okay, the Stalin's Great Purge, and I will cover Leon Trotsky, the April Thesis. okay, of Lenin and the way he studied at the University of Kazan, okay, the origins of communism, of Marxism, of Bolshevism, and obviously some of these topics will be extremely difficult, so I have to water it down to comply with YouTube community guidelines. Okay, so uh, here's the so that's what's gonna be coming up, and there's gonna be a long form video coming up in 2 weeks time. I'm going to talk about the severe consequences of the secularism. Okay, secularism is what happens when you abandon your religion. It's extremely important for me to cover that. And yes, I will cover a few more videos on dating. I will talk about China's 100 million leftover women and a few more topics on like that. And I will cover the differences, obviously, between man and woman. Okay, what are the main differences? I will cover the political left and political right leading up there. And in the future, in October, I don't know how many live streams I can do because I do have to work constantly. I'm working. Okay, I don't know. My AirPods just died. I'm gonna take off my AirPods. Can you guys still hear me? I'm probably going to have this end this soon since my AirPods died. Maybe the audio will be okay. I took it off. So for September I mentioned. So I covered difference between political left and political right, like liberal Democrats, conservatives, stuff like that. Then September I'll be going at least 2 trips to the U.S. I'll be covering my U.S. series, and opposite airport might be switched. I think it's just so. Oh, okay. So the audio is still working. I can talk a little bit more. It's just the sun setting. So and not just that. Here's the thing. And uh, sorry, I'm just losing because the AirPod. I'm losing my train of thoughts. Yes, I will find a way to water down the series on Soviet era Russia. Okay, and because it's going to be extremely difficult to comply with the YouTube community guidelines if I actually talked about what happens, like Stalin's agree purge. So I will try to water it down so it complies with YouTube's community guidelines, and I will cover many topics on Soviet Union because you guys need to understand what is communism and what is socialism and what is Marxism because it's very clear that Canada and the United States and the collective West, you are becoming the Soviet Union. I don't think you have any idea like what is actually happening. Like what is you guys what you guys are have basically got yourself into because you guys keep supporting these ideologies. Okay, so I'm going to talk about like the bourgeois, like the genocide against the black class. Okay, I'm going to talk about the kulaks. Okay, what the Russians did to their farmers, and I will try to cover everything. So before I leave for China, hopefully I will have all these videos done. I'll have them uploaded. I'll have them saved. So I hope to finish the series before the end of the year, so you guys have a really good understanding about communism and socialism. Because I don't think you guys have any idea what you're actually into because it is a very dangerous ideology, and honestly it's going to ultimately destroy the Western civilization. And I mentioned before, right? I talked about the red guards before, and you guys say I don't talk about bad stuff about China. I've mentioned the Cultural Revolution many times. I mentioned the Great Leap Forward many times. Terrible things happen. In fact, I did mention that my stepmom's father, he was actually murdered by the red guards. They sacked him from his position. He was a CCP official, and he was forced to jump off from the rooftop of the building. So uh, 1 second. I'm just gonna. I need to. I'm just gonna. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I just comment. I had to uh spam, not spam comment. It's a flagged comment. So yes, I will cover a lot of topics on the Soviet Union, but be prepared. Yeah, I don't think you guys have any idea where you're actually heading into. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. So socialism is sleeping. Sorry, it's stealing the fruits of your neighbors. It's stealing the fruits and the hard work of your neighbor from you. For example, okay, let's say I lived in China. Okay, let's say everything was socialist, right? Everything has to be equal. Okay, I'm a farmer in rural China. I work my ass off every single day to grow crops, right? And I meet my production target. Okay, in fact, I'm 50% over my production target. I have enough grain to feed my entire family, and I can still store the excess rice that I make every single day, and I can store these for just a cold rainy day, or for when there's a famine, so I can still have enough food to feed our family. But what if my neighbor was, just a total bump? He was 100% lazy. He does not want to do anything, and so my neighbor, he actually basically decides that, I'm just gonna sit on my ass because socialism, because welfare, right? Because we have to split the fruits of everybody's labor, right? So due to socialism, I will literally have to give up half of my crop to my neighbor. Now we only have 75% of my food. Okay, now I don't have enough food to feed my family, and my neighbor, he still only gets 75% of his daily rations, and he doesn't have enough food for himself, even though he's not doing anything. And that's how socialism is. That's literally what the Soviet Union did. That's also what China did. It's an extremely, extremely dangerous ideology. And so I will have a lot more video on the Soviet Union coming up before I leave for China. So okay, I'm gonna read a few more comments. This is the last round before I go log off because yeah, I think my phone will probably die off soon as well. Be careful in China. Okay, thank you. Tariffs causing inflation. Uh, Chinese don't believe in pet ownership. Lots of pets in China. I'm just gonna go through this rounds of comments, and by the time I'm done, I'm gonna log off from here because it's been a couple hours. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported and donated, and I'm just gonna read some of the comments. I'm sorry I skipped a bunch of them because a lot of them have been extremely hateful. You guys don't see all the comments. Some of the comments are automatically flagged, so there's a bunch of hateful comments. So let me see, censored the N word. Everyone loves freedom of speech until they're friend. Okay. Bro, Vancouver, same with Russia, more free speech. Okay, freedom of speech until become. Thoughts on China Insider? I'm not really too interested in that channel, so I can't say too much. America is a sick country. Ignoring me? Thank you, Bill Clinton. Okay, where am I at? What do you think of the Uyghurs in China? Everything is okay. The Uyghurs are completely living normal lives in China. Okay, is whatever you see, like I said, in the West is Western propaganda. Uh, I have no issue against Islam or against Chinese Uyghurs. Okay, they're just like every other Chinese citizen. So Trump, Harris. Okay, what's up, Holmes? Thoughts on cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency. Okay, maybe I'll bring this up. You guys saw what happened with Microsoft, right? It's very dangerous to basically digitally to completely just let the banks control everything. Because think about it, okay? When you try to use your credit card, if you go to a grocery store, you buy $100 worth of groceries, right? So when you pay your $100, right? The grocery store owner, he doesn't get $100. Usually there's a 2% fee rate. He gets $98. And what happens if he uses that $98, he goes to another grocery store. He buys $98 worth of groceries. Okay, the grocery store owner of the other store, he only gets $96.04. He loses another 2%. What happens if you repeat the transaction 50 times? Okay, that $100 is gone. It's gone to the bank. See, that's how they get you. So it's very dangerous to rely on AI technology so much because if one thing goes down, like how much China, all the Chinese people are using WeChat wallet now because they can track everything, and at any moment they can completely shut you down. It's important to still carry cash with you. Let me see. Uh, Yeah, I'm sorry. That Luca person, he ended up getting blocked because I think he left like 40 or 50 comments. He keeps posting about basically he keeps wanting me to talk about Chinese genocides. He's like, oh, talk about this. Then there's a bunch of ones that got flagged. He's obsessed with China's genocide. So look, I like I said, I already covered the Cultural Revolution. I even mentioned that the fact that one of my family members was murdered during the Cultural Revolution. And yes, I have talked about the Great Leap Forward. I talked about my grandmother's experience. If you watch the older videos, yes, China has done terrible things, but don't try to deny the fact that the USA has done like all the regime changes that the CIA has done. Okay, I'm not trying to shift any responsibility. China has done terrible things, but I'm sorry, the US is a more evil regime versus the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, doesn't sound bad. It's good. Okay, maybe in the future I don't need the AirPods. Okay, your audio is fine. Thank you. Okay, your audio sounds much better without your earpods. Okay, maybe in the future. I don't know what the next live stream will be. Could be 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. But in September and October for sure, I'll do the weekly live streams. So I will have at least 8 more live streams before I leave for China. Now I won't be able to live stream for a long, very very long time, probably 6, 7, 8 months. But September, October, I'll try to do weekly. But in August, I'm not sure because I do have to work almost every day. It's going to be difficult to find the time, but I'll see what I can do. But for sure, tune in September and October. I'll try to live stream every weekend. So what happened when the Japanese? Okay, let me read comments. Non-rights, cash and carry grams of gold stashed. Yes, if you have the money, okay, yeah, don't use your credit card for everything because the government can track everything. Same of I'm always skeptical of the electric vehicles. Okay, think about the electric vehicles, right? Because at any moment, if the government wants to, they can shut you down. Okay, it's a lot more harder. It's a lot harder to shut down a gas or a diesel engine, right? So with electric vehicles, they can shut it down anytime they want to. Okay, let me read the last rounds of a few comments. So, humanity was not meant to live under system control as the extremist potential system we're looking at in the future. We weren't meant to be domesticated. I 100% agree. This is Satunar. Yeah, I 100% agree. We're not meant to live like this, but unfortunately, look at where our world has turned into. So it's very unfortunate. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I hope to live in like a small, poor island country. I'm totally down to move to, let's say, St. Kitts and Nevis or Turks and Caicos to be away from human civilization because I think we have lost our morals, we have lost our values, we have lost our understanding as human beings, and really, I don't have a lot of faith in the future of the human civilization. Do Chinese people use Bitcoin? No, I think in China they use like what's it called, dog coin. I think that's what they use. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can fire them up now. This is like the last round. I'm just gonna go through the comments. Then I'm gonna end this live stream. And yes, I will have this saved. Hopefully, this I don't think I think it will be okay. I don't think this live stream will get taken down. So I will save it onto my channel so people can watch it later. What's your occupation? Right now, I'm finishing up my degree. I have 2 online classes I need to take, but I'll be able to finish them online. I don't have to return to campus. I just work at a grocery store, just stocking like eggs, noodles, Asian grocery store, like wonton dumplings, nothing special. It only pays slightly above minimum wage just to help me to get through school because obviously I still have classes. But I'll be graduating in December, and I'll be basically when I return to China, filming videos and making original contents will be my full-time job. I want to make something clear. The contents from China will be family friendly because the contents for the next few months could be a little bit difficult, right? They're extremely political, and also I'm going to talk about some war crimes. So the contents from China will be 100% original and family friendly. I want to bring a smile to everybody's faces. Okay, I want you guys to basically really enjoy the video. I don't want you guys to watch the video and think, oh my god, there's so much war, there's so much crime, there's so much death. So I want to bring joy to everybody's faces. That's why I'm going to back to China to film this series. So okay, let me see. What is your occupation? Where do you see Canada in 30 years? Canada will be a third world country in 30 years. That's my honest opinion. Okay, I like right now I can't leave Canada just yet. Unfortunately, after my few months trip to China, I have to return. But as soon as I can pay off all my debt, I will be leaving Canada. That's the #1 goal. Canada is turning into a third world country. It will be a third world country before the United States, probably. Let me see. System controls human freedom. Never stop posting. Chinese historian Rin. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Rin, for the support. So, yes, I will keep posting. But after my series on the elections and the Soviet Union, I will have lots of stuff on China for the next 2 years. It'll be very exciting because it will be 100% unique and original. So, thoughts on government surveillance? Okay, that happens everywhere. Okay, look at when you go to the grocery store I work at has like 500 security cameras. It's everywhere. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything we can do about it. That's just how life is, right? Life is not fair. So, okay, how we do? Where's the system control? Any episodes detailing the Nanking massacre? Okay, the Nanking massacre or Nanjing massacre. Thank you, King Rama. I recognize your name because you're a Patreon supporter. I did try to cover that. YouTube instantly demonetized and age restricted my video. So that's going to be tough. I don't think I can cover that because YouTube doesn't like those topics. So yeah, that is my concern for my videos on the Soviet Union. Because if I cover the Holodomor, it could get instantly demonetized or age restricted. So really hard topics. I don't think I'll be able to cover them. But I will try to... yeah, I will try to when I cover the Soviet Union, there will be a lot of hardcore topics. I'll try to cover it like do a soft core version, a watered down version, so you guys can see the truth. And if you guys want to dig deeper, you guys can look into the history archives of what really happened. So yeah, YouTube really doesn't like those war crimes topics. So okay, let me see. China, Taiwan, shake hands. Jacqueline. Okay, thank you. What are you studying? I'm studying Bachelor of Commerce. I'm almost graduating. I was supposed to graduate back in April. Unfortunately, I had to reduce my course load for the previous school year because inflation. I just got to the point where I couldn't pay rent, so I had to work extra hours to be able to pay the bills. So I had to drop two classes, but I'll be graduating December. Bachelor of Commerce is similar to business economics, things like that. So might not have a piece of land, grow your own. Life is great, man. It's gonna be pretty difficult to buy my own a piece of land, but I'll see what I can do. Thank you. Bank of China, Bitcoin has similar gold. Okay, how will South America be in 10 years? Hard to say. But South Korea, you got. I mean, South America, you have to be careful. For example, I know countries like Argentina and Uruguay or Argentina, right? Like if you're a black person, I don't think you'll be welcomed there because I'm pretty sure Argentina is trying to systematically remove every single black person, right? It depends on what ethnicity you are. So you got to be careful about going to South America in the future. But I don't think South America will be much better than the USA or Canada. Okay, let me write through. Okay, Chinese historian, you're a very good looking face. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you. Looking better than most males. So, link uncensored version on Odyssey. Have to see. Okay, there's some good documents on Imperial Japan. This shady shit. Yes. Oh, one thing. So Unit 731, right? I don't know if YouTube will let me cover it. I'll have to see. But when I go back to China, I'll be going to Harbin during the winter. I'll be visiting the museum for Unit 731. I don't know like what kind of footages or pictures I'm allowed to take, but I will try to basically, if I'm allowed to, I will basically take you guys through a tour of the entire Museum 731, because I don't think you can actually top Unit 731. That's probably the lowest form of humanity. So yes, that will be one of my videos coming up from my China trip. I'll be going to Harbin to visit the museum for Unit 731. So war crimes. Yes, that's true about Argentina. That's why I'm in Brazil. Okay. Scott Noor loves you, bro. Thank you. Okay. Yes, but not spotted you. Okay. Asians don't like blacks, like at all. Yes, but I think it's probably if you're a black person, it's better off to move to like any Asian country versus Argentina or Uruguay. Just being honest. Okay, have a good one, man. Thank you. So I was looking at Colombia. Not personally fond of Argentina. Should I go black man as traditional Asian woman? Where should I go as a black man for traditional Asian woman? China, Vietnam. I would say probably Philippines is a better option. I think that they're more open to foreigners. Also, almost everybody in the Philippines speaks English, so it's easier to communicate. So less of a language barrier. So I remember I said you'll pay your debt to get your pension, but Canada becomes a third world country where you still receive it. Yeah, I think that's my worst nightmare. If Canada cancels my pension and old age security, that's gonna be a massive problem. So I have to save up as much money as I can before I turn 65, right? So yes, I do have to pay off my debt because if I default it, there's always that chance the government can screw you over. They can just take away my pension and old age security. I definitely want to collect them when I turn 65, right? Because if I live until 85, it's paid to you until you're dead, right? So like I could be losing out on 20 years of pension and old age security. So I'm not taking any risks. I gotta pay off my debt before I can leave. So only nice part of England, like Kent, Sussex, Philippines, and Japan. True, many Asians. Yes, Philippines for the win. I'm black in China right now for 3 weeks. How can I find a wife? It's gonna be pretty difficult to find a Chinese wife in 3 weeks, right? So usually, like the goals, that's what they do in China, right? You have to date for 3 months before you can get to sleep with them. So in 3 weeks, I think that's gonna be pretty difficult to find a wife. You have to live in China for a lot longer. Maybe try to look for a job, try to get a work visa for a year, and then try to improve your chances. Have you been to Asia now? Thailand? Appreciate black people. They take your money, smile at you, but okay. What's wrong with your own black woman? I don't think that question is directed at me. Okay. Don't count on getting your pension. What happens is no one's having kids. Yeah, that's also one of the many issues when birth rate is collapsing. Because if the government runs out of money, they could take away your pension. I'll have to see what happens. So, I mean, I won't turn 65 for another 33 plus years. So, but regardless, I need to get rid of my debt. Because no, at least I have a chance. There's a good chance for me to get my pension. But if I don't pay off my debt, I got no chance. So there's still comments coming in. So I'm still reading these. American black women are something. Okay. Black men do get disrespected a lot by black women. Yes, I've read. So I did look up Kevin Samuels because people keep saying that I'm the Chinese Kevin Samuels. There's a massive crisis between black man and black woman in America. There's a gender war going on. Whatever it is going on, you gotta get that sorted out because it's absolutely destroying your community. You have a huge problem because of this feminist gender war between black man and black woman. So black American women are difficult. Are you purposely dodging my question? I'm not sure which question. How tall? I'm 5'8". Okay. Mother effer. Okay. I'm just gonna ignore that. Tango dancing original is from most men get disrespected by most women. It's not a racial thing. Uh, bro, Chinese girls won't date you. Online account. Okay, that's what the poke is for. Lessons for old people. Yes, I have been cross Asian. I British have seen African tourists. Many Asians like them. Want pictures. Have kids play football. Chinese Kevin Samuels. Yeah, honestly, I've never ever followed Kevin Samuels or like I hardly see any. I think I've seen some of his videos pop up in my feed a couple times, but for some reason there was hundreds of comments keeps referring to me as a Chinese Kevin Samuels. So I ended up looking him up. So my uploads here. I'm I didn't consider study Germany. No, I don't think I'll be moving to Germany. Not on my list. Never had to wait 3 months to sleep with a Chinese. Only had 2 Chinese girlfriends. One night stand, Tenry tobacco. I'm 6'3", blonde. Goodness, okay. That's not real questions about the videos. Okay, if you're not Asian or half or light skin, you're doomed. Maybe. Once dated Filipina, never worked out, so I used to have a Chinese boyfriend, Shan. Mega. Yes, like whatever happens between, obviously Joe Biden has stepped aside, but I don't think anybody from the political left, from the Democrats, can actually stop Joe Biden. I mean, sorry, getting losing my train of thoughts. I believe Donald Trump will 100% win this election, and I hope to visit. So I'm going to the United States at least 2 trips, one in September, one in October, and I hope to attend some Trump rallies, including the second presidential debate. Whatever it is, whatever the left brings out, I'll be hopefully I can live stream some of those events as well. I'll be going to at least one, possibly 2 Trump rallies for September and October. So do you still do marathon? Yeah, my last marathon was in Chicago, October 2023. And I've been really, really busy lately. Obviously, I gotta work. I gotta try to pay off my student loans and my credit card debt. And when I go back to China, I'll be busy filming every single day. I'll try to get back in shape starting in summer of 2024. And yes, I definitely run more marathons in the future. Hopefully, I ran the Chicago Marathon. Obviously, I also want to run the New York City and the Boston Marathon. So yes, I'm still running, but a little bit out of shape right now. I'm not at the elite level. I need to get back in shape. Big up Kevin Samuels. Yes, okay. Let me see. Do I have to get a job in China to her work visa or to I'm not sure, but like if you want to bring a woman to China to, let's say, Canada or America, because I know a bunch of people did that. It's very expensive. I had one coworker, I think he spent like $12,000 to bring his Chinese girlfriend over to Canada. It's very, very expensive to try to bring a Chinese girlfriend from China to America or Canada. Trump is our favorite. We Chinese vote Trump 2024. Okay, Asian Korean. Good question. Dark skins. We went broske. Okay. Black women are becoming more educated, higher, putting a black man on an issue. Okay. I think CIA was destroyed by CIA during the Cold War. So okay, I think I've covered a lot. Oh, thank you. There's still 108 people. So I'll tell you guys something interesting since there's still over 100 people. 1 second, just let me charge my AirPods because I didn't think it was gonna die so soon. So okay, I'm back. So you guys are the real troopers. There's still 160 people. This will be probably definitely the last segment. So I want to tell you guys something really really interesting. Thank you so much. So this live stream is oh my god, 2 hours and 2 hours and 18 minutes now. So I'm just looking at the time about China. So in this losing my train of thoughts. You guys want to believe in karma, right? I'll share this now about my family. So you guys must be really interested if you stay until this point. This will be the last segment because it's getting too long. So about my family, about my karma, right? Okay, if you think your family is crazier than my family, okay, listen. Nobody's family is crazier than my family. I'll tell you guys what happened when I I was growing up. So my dad, I mentioned, right, he has four older brothers. My dad is number five. Okay, so he's not just the youngest; he's also physically the smallest. I have an uncle that's 6'2". So he's the one that's 2 years older than my dad. And he was born in the 1950s. Back then, that was unheard of. So like unfortunately, I didn't grow up so big. As I mentioned before, I was obviously abandoned by my parents. I was sent away, abused by a family relative. I ended up just basically gray hair and losing my teeth and malnutrition. Right. So and my second my second what I was gonna say my second uncle. So the one that's sorry, my dad has four older brothers. The oldest my oldest uncle, right, he passed away at the age of 49. Okay, you guys want to know what happened? So at the age of 49, right, he was on a work trip. I think they sent him to collect some samples. I'm not sure exactly what the hell happened because he worked for a hydro company. I don't know why he was sent into basically the mountains. He was bitten by a snake. Okay, it was a poisonous, venomous snake. I'm not sure exactly what it was. So he passed away at the age of 49. Okay, here's why I believe karma is very important, because I remember my paternal grandfather, he was a police chief in the subdivision I grew up in, the subdivision of 30,000 people, and he raped numerous women when basically during his heydays, because obviously he was a police chief, he can do whatever he wanted to, nobody could do anything, so he probably raped half the women in town. I believe that's when the curse started, because my oldest uncle, right, he actually he died at the age of 49 after getting bit by a venomous snake. Then right after that, okay, my second uncle, so he's 2 years younger than my first uncle, he died at the age of 50. Remember this, my first uncle died at the age of 49, bitten by a poisonous snake. My second uncle died at the age of 50. Okay, so you guys want to know what happened to him? He basically his lungs collapsed. Okay, well, yes, he did smoke a lot of cigarettes, he did drink a lot, but at 50, all of a sudden one day his lungs just collapsed and he died basically instantly. And so after my so after my second uncle died, okay, my second uncle's wife, she basically went to a full schizophrenic mode. She went completely insane. And one day she was having a basically episode of a panic attack. Okay, then she actually fell down the stairs, and basically there was massive bleeding in the back of her head. Okay, she was basically and she was rushed to the hospital. She didn't die instantly after she rolled down the stairs. Okay, her two kids, my two older cousins, they tried everything to save her. They spent all of their lifetime savings, okay? And unfortunately, they could not save her. So my first uncle, right after my first uncle died, literally a couple years later, my second uncle died from his lungs collapse. Then his wife dies from falling down the stairs. Then afterwards, they have two children. Okay, they both lived extremely difficult lives. They grew up as orphans. Okay, the oldest, the son, he's 6'6", the biggest Chinese guy I have ever seen growing up. He unfortunately, I think they set him up when they set him up with some woman from Beijing. He got married and moved there, but unfortunately, his wife cheated on him and stole all of his money and then filed for divorce. And now he's extremely suicidal. Like all of that things, that's just the tip of the iceberg. All the crazy things that happen in my family. That's why I believe I need to return to China one last time. I need to basically cleanse out the karma and the curse in my family. I believe it all started with my grandfather when he raped all of those women when he was the police chief, because they did some major damage in my body, to my family. Okay, there's a generational curse, and I believe if there's anybody that can break it, it has to be me. There's a reason why almost every single person in my family has either committed suicide or died from collapsed lungs or fell down the stairs, or they were pushed off by these red guards during the Cultural Revolution. I think it all started with my maternal grandfather. So here's something very interesting. So I'll go through one round of comments. I just wanted to tell you guys that we're coming out to 2.5 hours. Thank you guys so much for sitting till the end. So this is the last couple minutes now. Okay. Fortunately, I'm light skinned. Do you ever graduate? Did you graduate? I'm about to graduate before the end of the year. Thank you. Chinese girls are so expensive. France will be a powerhouse? Possibly. Possibly not. Not too crazy interested about France. Of course. Hello. You need to take your socks off already. My socks are off. I don't know what the hell you're talking. Do Chinese people like France? Yes, France is extremely popular in China. That's how I got. Okay, there's a fly in the room. That's how I got hooked onto France. Okay, it's extremely popular in China. So sorry, I'm using Febreze. I'm trying to get rid of a fly. Biden had resigned. Biden resigned today. France 6-3. Okay, I think a lot of you guys are talking to each other. 6-4. No, I wish. Okay, California COVID. Live in Shanghai. Lots of high earning women. Do you believe in karma affects family? Do you know anything? How's that fair? It's hard to say, but I definitely believe that karma is real in my family because there's been so much crazy shit that's been going on. When I return to China, I'll be visiting the grave of my grandfather and my grandmother. Okay, I'm gonna try to, make everything. I'm gonna try to break this and hopefully start afresh because there's a lot of bad blood in my family. So, curses, waking up Chinese historian, popular. Love yourself. Okay, let me be a superpower. Okay, I'm gonna coming to the end. So there's a comment by a channel member. Do you hear about the problems in Canada of lakes and beaches getting destroyed because Indian pooling? Yes, in the Indian immigrants pooling at lakes and beaches. Yes, unfortunately, I did see that on the news. I didn't want to cover it because it seems like it would be extremely racist to cover that. But yes, I did see that Canada has a massive poo problem now, and unfortunately, it's due to these recent Indian immigrants. They're the ones who are actually pooping in our lakes. It's very, very unfortunate. Okay. But Justin Trudeau keeps saying diversity is our strength. But yeah, you can look up that story. There are Indian people in Canada. They're pooping in Canadian lakes. So okay, evil spirits, wicked. Okay, make you more videos about black men dating in China. Maybe in the future, possibly. Maybe I'll meet a couple black guys in China. I'll try to ask them for a video. Okay. So why do women like least Asian or Indian men? Hard to say. Well, it could be that women. 80% women are completely obsessed with height, right? Like the first requirement for women in dating, right? Gotta be 6 feet, right? So unfortunately, Asians and Indians on average are probably the shortest. So women just don't like short or average height men, right? Everyone wants a man that's 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". So not too many Asian or Indian guys are 6 feet. So height is a huge disadvantage. Okay, let me see. Would you visit Japan? Yes, in the future, definitely. I will visit Japan. I hope I have the contents from Japan in the future. 100%. I will visit Japan. Okay? Thanks for the live stream. Okay. All right. We're coming up in 2.5 hours. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined my live stream. Thank you to everybody that's donated. I'll go back to look through some of the chats. I'll look up some of the people you guys mentioned. Thank you so much, everybody. This is going to be the end of my live stream. I don't know when the next one will be. It could be in September, but I know for sure September, October, I'll do one each week. So I have 8 of them. In August, maybe I'll have just one. So I have to see what happens. So because this video is getting so long, there will be no video tomorrow. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. There will be 2 uploads next week. There will be one video on Wednesday and one video on Friday. Thank you guys so much. I'm logging off. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.